It's true.
Absolutely.
It's true. I
would
have to get
be
into my
right before
character
you
as
get
the
messed up.
judge. Oh yeah, go for it.
It is funny. All the people that have just like silently snuck in updating things today.
Oh really?
Yeah.
All of the fringe things just silently getting updated. That's really funny.
People don't realize I can see timestamps. Honestly, not bad looking. I think there's only like one, maybe two in most venues we haven't heard back from.
Hell yeah.
That's an empty script. That's an empty script. That's an empty script. But they have their cue sheet filled out.
Hell yeah.
I like that I opened up this cue sheet and one of the first cues that my eyes just saw was, my penis is a prison. Blackout.
Which show is that?
It's in Monos. It's called Summit at BBC.
Hell yeah. That's awesome. And by BBC, I'm sure that they mean the British Broadcasting Company.
Absolutely. How the fuck do I end up?
I'm back.
Welcome.
Thanks. I'm streaming now.
Hell yeah.
And there's a new code. Wonderbar. I think I wanna be the prosecutor this time.
Yeah.
Yeah, oh gosh, I gotta redo that every time, don't I? Yeah. I think it'll be a good change of pace from the first one.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's interesting. I did realize using the in-game chat might be interesting because when
I can
Bax did
silence
tell me to
you.
shut the fuck up, it actually silenced me. It did mute me.
Oh, interesting. We can try to do that if you'd prefer.
I would be interested in trying it this
If
next
Bax
one, and
more
if we don't like
control,
it,
I'll mute on Discord instead.
yeah.
Okay.
Not authenticated. Why is it not authenticating? Firefox can't establish a connection to the server at localhost. Hmm? Bad request, invalid host. Is it working? It says connected. I don't know if it's linked though. Not authenticated. I don't know how to fix that. Maybe you might have to be the one, Tez. Can you try enabling the juror mode?
I realized that we're both talking in the game and not in Discord.
Oh, I did not hear you.
Oh yeah, because you never joined the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're using the new code, right? The JZ one, not the old
Oh,
AD one.
I haven't even tried to do that yet because I was trying to get Twitch authentication to work, and I'm having trouble getting it to work.
I don't think I'll be able to get my
yeah.
Twitch integrated because of the previously mentioned issue.
The previously mentioned issue?
I don't have access. I can't log in right now because I don't know my code.
Oh, right. Okay, well... yeah, it's giving me a lot of errors, and I don't know what to do about those errors. It's like bad host errors and stuff like that.
Okay. I mean, we can just do it without the integration. It's fine.
I don't even... It says it's connected, but it says it's not authenticated, so I don't know what that means.
If anyone in the community has the game, they can join us that way.
I guess so, yeah. I never actually gave my dude like a outfit. I should probably choose that real quick. I'm just gonna.
I want to look at.
Holy shit! Who is that? Shadow Forager, how you doing?
What do we got?
Half a cent a month. 50 months. Almost 100 months. Halfway there. It's freaking crazy. Oh.
Okay. Oh, look at what all the roles do. Keyboarder with baton, handcuffs, or magic wand. For each side, you play a randomly chosen witness and tell their story. Scribble a scoop, write a headline, and so
Only 4 years and 2 months to go. Oh, yeah, it'll fly by in a flash. Let me tell you. I hope you're doing well, Shadow Forager. Just before 2030. Yeesh. Can you believe that?
Interesting.
Time is flashing by.
You can knock out lawyers with your gavel?
That's
Yes,
cool.
I can like shut them up with my gavel. I can
Oh yeah,
literally
that's what made me
silence
shut
them.
up, huh?
Yeah, because you just kept talking and I was like, no, shut the fuck up. So we played a test round of this game and it was really, really fun. I'm super
It was very
excited to
fun.
play some more.
Indeed.
I think I want like hair of something. And, like,
Judge Bax, make sure that you click the little closed eyeball to hit show as judge, because otherwise it's not going to keep all of your options.
oh, that's
You gotta
good to know.
uncheck that activate judge clothing if you want your options to stay.
Oh. Interesting. Oh wow, there's so many outfits.
Yeah. Did you didn't notice my vampire outfit last time?
I did, but like, I just, getting to actually go through it now, it's like, oh my gosh, there's so many options. Oh, this one's good.
You can just be avocado.
Yeah, I like the avocado.
Kind of like that. Yeah, I'll go with that. And we'll do... Yeah, I like those eyes.
G-Web! Alright, this is a
Alright.
good one. I like this.
I think I've got a good option available as well. Happy with this. Hey, hi Fireball. Yes, I am making my guy a dapper little cowboy.
Only 27 shows haven't emailed back. That's not bad.
Heck yeah.
Alright.
How you doing, Fireball? Welcome. It's a shame you don't have this game and or are doing stuff. You could join
Finally
us.
be underwater like they've been saying. Or fucking on fire again.
Dapper was for the first
I
one.
hope not.
I see. I did Dapper for my for a pre-round, learning how the game works.
Dapper, huh?
Yeah, that's what I was before. Now I am not Dapper.
Oh, you're not dapper anymore. You've given up your dapper life.
Indeed, I've given it up for a different lifestyle.
Alright, I'm gonna join in just a second.
Cool. Make sure you uncheck that activate judge clothing, or you're going
I
to
did,
look like a
yeah.
judge when you join.
I thought about keeping it just because I do kind of like the judge outfit, but let's give it a shot without it and see how you like my flair.
Heck yeah. I'm ready.
Alright, I'm gonna mute myself in Discord.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I should probably
Right. Can you all both
yeah,
hear me
I have
in-game?
sound here.
I
can hear you. Yeah, I can
hear
hear me?
Duff.
What about me?
I don't hear a Bax.
Oh.
You can also do custom evidence, which is really fun.
Well, that's the wrong one.
Do you hear a Bax?
How about now? Can you hear
I
me?
do hear him in the other room saying, "How about now?"
Uh.
Yes, now we can. Oh, wait.
Yeah, you can hear me? Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear you.
We're good? Okay, cool. This is gonna be wild. I have no idea what to expect from this. I mean, I guess I do now that I've done it once,
You're
but
gonna have a lot more control now. I really hope it's not. I can't talk at all when it's not on my side of the board.
I think. Well, no, you can talk at any point, but I can silence you and like mute you for a little bit.
I see. I can't run away with this.
Yeah, it's like I have a little mute button in case you get a little bit too crazy. All right. Oh. Okay.
All right, let's do this.
I'm ready. Let's rock and roll.
Court case.
Attention, attention. Welcome, welcome. We are currently waiting for the prosecutor and their charges. Wow, we all appear to have a whole new outfit. This is wonderful. You all look great. You're really fashionable. You're really selling it right now.
Yay, we're playing a game.
Hello, welcome in. You want to watch? Yes. You guys streaming? Yeah. We're playing Guilty as Sock. Guilty as Sock.
I remember they were talking about it in the streamers chat. I said I wasn't going to be able to make it.
It's like Ace Attorney.
So instead I'm making it. Hello. I'm making it in David's stream. I'm crashing.
Hello, welcome in.
I'm crashing your stream. It's the Bean.
It's Bean. We have Bean. So the way that this works is I'm currently playing as the judge, and I have my little gavel here.
Beautiful.
So when we are ready to start the proceedings, I smash this little thing here, and that will give somebody the ability to present evidence.
Okay.
So to start, we have to let the prosecutor
Saggy Boy
make their charges. Saggy Boy is being accused of
making disgusting
What was it?
donuts
Soggy donuts?
Selling them for $50 each.
disgusting donuts and selling them for $50.
Oh,
Dear
that's
God.
that's pretty heinous.
I mean, that does seem like something that Saggy Boy would do.
Witness is a stressed intern
Not
and a homeless man.
To lame them, but I mean, were they saggy donuts? I mean, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I ought to. Let's see. I'll just let one of you speak. To start, I'll let the defendant rest their case. I can barely hear a... Sir, please speak normally, otherwise your microphone will not come through clear. You have to speak normal.
Alright, sir. I'm the honorable lawyer, Bongus Bongus. And
Bongus
I'm here
Bongus.
to clear my defense.
Oh, I don't think I even have this game.
You see, the prosecution is accused them of making disgusting donuts and selling them for $50 each. But Your Honor, the donuts aren't disgusting. They're delicious.
Okay, so they're delicious donuts, actually. Objection? Alright.
Every $50.
You can speak.
I'll have you know that a mask was taken of someone's face immediately after having consumed one of his donuts, and I have that mask here with me today, Judge. You take a look at that and tell me if they looked like they enjoyed that donut.
I think I might... I'm gonna change my... you can rest your case for just one more moment. I need to change my audio settings.
Because everything is a fuck.
I just want to point out that
Also,
scare
Tez
mouse
is dressed
would
like
someone's
an
face
outlaw,
immediately
and I love
after
it.
leaving that man's establishment. As a result, it's clear to me that that person had an absolutely horrifying experience, one that deserves legal compensation. End of remarks.
And remarks.
Thank you very much. You've been very kind. I didn't mean to smack you. I didn't mean to do that.
Get me
Sorry, I
an
didn't mean to
idiot.
do that. Here you go. Go ahead.
I
Tell me
would
some
really
more.
appreciate it
Oh,
if you
all
stopped
right.
hitting me over the head with that game.
Your Honor, I will
Go
say,
for it.
this scary mask is absolutely the individual's picture coming out of our establishment, Dogie's Donuts. But I will say, sir, that picture was taken during Donut Fright Night, in which our client here was creating the spookiest, most horrifying donuts he could as part of a promotional material.
Oh, so it's part of their art. It was part of their marketing. Okay.
I'm sorry, do you
Absolutely, that
have
was a
proof of a
once-in-a-lifetime
frat night?
limited release of the spider-filled cream donut.
Oh God.
Well, that's definitely very illuminating. Do you have any evidence to support your claims?
Why, yes, sir, I do. Absolutely. I would not just be coming here saying this without any sort of evidence. And I have right here our access badges. It's an all expense paid access badge to the Fright Night event. As you can see, the badge clearly states October 1st through October 27th is Fright Night. It's a VIP event in which you come to try the spookiest donuts in town.
Wow. Okay. This is all checking out pretty legit. It does seem like there is a local event in which these donuts very well could have been made for a promotional sort of event, but I don't know. I'd like to hear from the prosecutor on this.
All right. Well, I will say that while a fright night might be something that they did indeed host, the likelihood of an individual being so frightened by the promotional material of a donut shop that tastes delicious is inconsequential in my mind. I feel like if you go to a dining establishment and you leave scared to the point that that's your face, that's not because you had a yummy, delicious donut, whether or not you're having a fright face.
Objection, Your Honor! We use Australian huntsman spiders in the Fright Night spider-filled cream donut, which taste exactly like saffron and vanilla. The donuts are delicious, but frightening because it is full of vanilla-flavored spiders.
Well, this is all developing in quite a way. I mean, look, maybe we need a bit more evidence in order to support the case here, because what I'm really concerned about is that we're selling these donuts for $50, and are people meant to be eating these donuts? That seems like kind of a major concern here. I'll let the prosecutor respond.
I appreciate the fact that you find it suspicious that people are willing to spend so much money on donuts, because I entirely agree, and I think part of the reason why they might not taste good, but he ain't gone out of business yet, is because there's some questionable goods in them donuts. Now, I want to ask you, Judge, how many people do you think would go to a place that has donuts at $50 a donut and buys a dozen donuits?
Well, that seems like it could be drug trafficking or something. It seems like it could be something much worse.
Yes.
Objection, Your Honor.
Okay. The defense may respond.
We do, just so you know, my client is a licensed doctor. As you can see by his medical file, he is licensed to practice doctoring, and he does use some of the donuts for pharmaceutical purposes. Yes, we have Adderall donuts, we have Zoloft donuts, and we also have Prozac donuts too.
Wait, you're telling me they're drugged?
Yes, but you have to have a licensed prescription from a doctor It's filled just like any pharmaceuticals. We are licensed to practice. Yes, absolutely.
These don't sound like regular donuts. They sound like a drug prescription in the form of a donut.
Some of the donuts are regular donuts. Some of them are drug prescription donuts. Yes.
I'm gonna let the prosecutor respond to that.
Absolutely. First and foremost, I'd like to draw your attention back to the evidence that the defendant has portrayed, which says medical files. Spoiler alert, it's not good. In their own evidence, they admit that if he is in fact a doctor, which I am not yet sure of, this may be falsified documents, he is in fact bad at it. And would we like to have someone selling drugs, whether or not they have a license for it, in the public? I would like to bring to light this suspicious bill, which was found outside the establishment, of someone spending $1,200 at one time at this man's donut establishment. You telling me somebody's selling prescription drugs for that amount? I don't believe that for 1 second.
You know, this is all starting to confuse me, because if these are really drugs and they're really not actually donuts and they're being sold for $50 and they're disgusting, then why are they being sold at a scary event? Why is it being sold at like a horror show, kind of like sideshow kind of thing? Like,
to distribute goods.
Let the defense respond. Shut up.
We have explained that. We operate both as a pharmaceutical donut company and we sell regular donuts. We sell glazed, we sell chocolate, we sell Boston cream, we have promotional Fright Night donut events, and for those in need, we are licensed to serve prescription donuts as well.
Can I get a prescription
donut? Who gave you the license for this?
Harvard.
Harvard?
Yes, my client is a Harvard medical graduate.
Harvard isn't a licensing body.
Is that one of them?
I'm currently consuming a drug donut.
Is that the Zoloft donut?
My client is innovating the prescription service at the donut industry. There's nothing illegal about that, Your Honor.
I must say, as someone who is consuming the drug donuts heavily, they're pretty good. Pretty worth.
Okay, so we have a witness saying that they're actually pretty decent, which actually is different. This is contradicting evidence because we heard that they were disgusting. But if they're actually really tasty $50 donuts...
This is a delicious $50 donut.
I will not accept a witness who is not on the witness stand.
That is understandable. That is understandable. It is out of court.
I would like to bring to light, this claims that his Fright Night is just to boost sales, to have a good time, to do things. I have to submit as evidence one of the costumes that were being worn. Clearly, this is someone's intentional disguise to hide their identity so that they may procure illicit and illegal drugs.
Objection, Your Honor!
Whoa, okay. What kind of drugs are you selling at this establishment?
That individual in question in this picture was not there to secure drugs at all. They were there for our kink services. We do also provide premium glazed fleshlight donuts.
That's disgusting.
Are they one use?
Oh, of course, that would be unsanitary if they weren't.
Objection! This is horrifying and disgusting.
You sustain.
Objection, Your Honor. No, it may be disgusting to him, but the individual participating in it was delighted.
This is entirely too much information.
Your Honor, just do it.
I don't like this. I don't like where this is going. Look, okay. I need some conclusive evidence here from the defense. How is this an ethical business? How are you above board? Do you have anything to support your claims here that this is something that we can believe in, something that we should keep in our community? You're selling drugs to our kids. How do you know that you're not selling them like anything laced with anything?
Your Honor,
and they're in the form of donuts. Children might eat these.
I have shown you our medical file for the defendant that shows that he is licensed to practice, and I have shown you the access badges for the VIP event that shows that it is a regulated event in which we check IDs, which we do the same thing for the medical practice. But, sir, if that is not enough for you, I can present some more evidence for you.
It was good to see you.
Sorry we didn't hang out more. Take care. Wait,
Here
hold
is
on,
my
hold on,
client's
hold on.
credit.
Pause. I need to go give a hug.
You're
Fuck
gonna
yeah,
lose.
bitch.
You're gonna lose this match, my boy. How did you emote? How do you do that?
I
love you. Sorry it's been so long.
It's okay. Sorry, we're busy.
All right, the judge is back in the judge's seat. Thank you very much. I really appreciate the credit card statement that you have given for us. This is definitely very illuminating. It does seem that you have been paying the government. You have actually been going through the proper channels. Here I'm seeing the receipts.
It
And
shows
I am-
all of our license receipts for all of the renewals. It shows all of the customers tracking. We make sure we track every single purchase, every bit of spending. Everything is above the board.
Hey, there is this one weird little problem. It's not good in the medical file. I need the prosecution to state, for the record, what's going on in this medical file. I think that they could be better illuminating to what might be going on here.
Given some of the time that I was provided, I'd like to call my witness to the stand. I have a stressed intern who has worked for the defendant who would like to speak on the matter.
Oh, yeah, let me, I'm not sure how to make him appear. Attention.
Well, that's all right. I'll get to it. His presence isn't quite necessary in order.
Okay,
to,
sure.
tell
What
his story.
information do you have from them?
Yeah, the stressed intern has informed me that he has been banned from seeing any doctor other than the accused as a result of, quote, not wanting to spill donut secrets. Now, I don't know about you, but I feel like someone who prohibits their staff, even temporary unpaid ones, to go to any other sort of medical professional is not on the up and up.
Okay. Well, it does. I see that you've raised your hand over here, so I'm just gonna go ahead and let you respond.
Yes, sir, I would like to say what the prosecution is presented here is a violation of HIPAA, and
How
my
dare you.
client would never violate HIPAA. If you would like to seek to understand those events a little bit more, we can present those in a private matter for you.
Well,
this is not
well,
time or
to
place
be very clear, HIPAA is something that applies to doctors. It doesn't apply to attorneys presenting medical information collected through the process of the court examinations.
Thank you, Judge.
But I understand that there are some privacy concerns here. So how did you acquire this information here?
Absolutely. Well, you see, I got a notice from this fella, and as you can see, it's all written down here in this notebook.
Oh, okay.
The entire testimony has been encrypted for the safety of the intern, who is so stressed by this event he is unable to preside over these hearings. As a result, all evidence in regards to this man has been encrypted for his own safety, as a result of the fact that he fears what that monster across the bench will do to him. Angels.
Your Honor, this evidence brings to light a new point. You see, if you look at the handwriting of the letter, you will see that it matches clearly the handwriting of this stalker letter that
Whoa.
my client has received multiple times. This stalker has repeatedly threatened to create bogus claims, falsify information, and get their business shut down because they're a regional manager for the local Krispy Kreme.
Now, see, if the information that we have is coming from an unreliable source, then we can't rely upon it. This could completely throw out the case. I mean, do you have anything else?
But a source that has actively said that they would falsify information to get my client arrested.
And you have that statement in the court. Okay, okay. Sure, go ahead. What do you have to say?
To make a point of reference to note that this stalker letter is dated from 5 years ago, and since then, the stressed intern has lost his job at Krispy Kreme's, and in an attempt to join a similar field, joined these people and quickly learned that they were in fact not who they thought they were and are scared for their life. What they did while under the employ of Krispy Kreme's is in the past and makes no precedence over their current state of distress as a result of working under this man.
I see.
There's no way to corroborate that, Your Honor.
You don't have any evidence to support this claim, do you?
Unfortunately, my last piece of evidence does not pertain to this particular situation.
Okay, well, we're running towards the end of our proceedings here. Is there anything else that you would like to say to support your claims?
Absolutely. I really, I didn't want it to come to this because I didn't want to reveal personal details or nothing. But as a result of having to do this here, I have a list here of 25 different participants in this man's restaurant. Waiting at the doctors within 24 hours of having received his donuts. Each and every one of the names on this list is brought into the doctor's office either themselves or by a family member taken to the ER within 24 hours of reaching this man's establishment.
Well, you could be dealing with medical malpractice then. I mean, this could be even more serious than the initial charge.
Indeed, we're not sure what the result of these things are, whether it's food poisoning, whether it's overdoses, whether it's malpractice. All of these events are or could be true.
Well, what do you have to say for yourself?
Yes, I would like to draw your attention to this piece of evidence that says they were waiting at the doctor's. It does not specify which doctor they were waiting at, and if you look at the timestamps, those match dates and times of receipt purchases from our establishment. Those individuals were clearly waiting at our doctors for their prescription.
So you're saying that they didn't go to... explain. They were not your patients?
They were our patients. The doctors they were waiting at was us.
So why did they wait so long?
We're a busy establishment with lots of people. We're quite popular.
Okay, well, you're overbooking yourself.
That is true, but that's not
the results of those medical files that I submitted. Would you just, for the court, read aloud under waiting at what my defendant has said is their establishment, what they did for their client?
It just says spoiler alert, not good.
No, I'm sorry, for the wait at the doctors.
Sorry, you cut out. What was that?
For the waiting at the doctors.
Oh, waiting at the doctors. It says, you came for a cold. You're leaving 3 years older. Is it true that they actually spent 3 years at your office waiting?
No, sir. They did not spend 3 years in our office waiting. What we found out is 7 of those 12 individuals had an aging disease, and we had to it's like Benjamin Buttons, but the reverse. They were, well, no, it was Benjamin Buttons. That's what it was, I believe, right, sir? Yes. My client has confirmed, and so we prescribed them with a prescription that aged them to the correct age they were supposed to be.
Objection.
But it says that they waited. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to point out that this man is now lying to all of us, because he said that there were 12 people on that list, and I clearly stated when I submitted the evidence there were 25.
See, here's the thing. If the reason why you're selling these donuts is to get people through the line quicker, that's a serious problem. Like, you can't just cut the line by giving them a donut prescription.
Why would we do that? No, we're serving everyone as they're supposed to be served.
You're serving them illegal drugs, maybe.
No,
and, and you're trying to get them in with...
We are prescribed to practice. 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 We are prescribed to practice.
look, is there anything else that you can say to support your case?
Yes,
Because
sir.
right now I'm kind of skeptical in this whole business that you're running here. I've never met somebody with Benjamin Button disease before, but and you said earlier that you would be violating HIPAA if you gave out if somebody gave out medical information. You just gave that, so by your definition
I
we'd
did
be
not
violating
give names or
HIPAA.
any
But
information that could tie the individual to the diagnosis. Therefore, it is not
Okay.
in violation of HIPAA.
okay, fair.
All right. You would like one final piece of evidence, yes, sir?
Yes, I would love to hear something to support your claims.
Real quick, I'd just like to point out that no hippos are involved in this case.
I would like to call to the stand my witness, our star witness, the homeless man.
How do I accept this? Can you call him again? How do I get him in?
I'm not sure, but what I will say is this homeless man, right, was homeless, and as you can see, I'm not allowed to speak right now. I apologize.
No, you can speak.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm looking at the.
Okay.
Oh.
By his own admission was, and we've gotten permission to share this with the court from the individual, a heavy meth user, and you can see this burnt wooden spoon that he used to use for methamphetamines.
Oh,
This
okay.
individual has since cleaned up their act and are moving on to be an upstanding member of society now that they can get prescription treatments in the form of donuts, because the prescription they had been receiving previously was insulin resistant, and that is why they turned to meth use. Now, combined with the sugar of the
Hold
donuts,
on.
they are able to receive the proper care they need and function in our society.
I've got a point.
Okay, you can make your point in a moment. I would like to try one of these donuts.
No, sir. Please wait until after the proceedings. If
Well-
it is indeed laced with drugs, then
We
you
have
won't
some
be
that
in your
are-
right mind
some
for
that
the
also
remainder of
work.
the
Well,
proceedings.
Just like a maple cream filled, if you'd like.
If these donuts are so disgusting, and if they are in fact $50 because they contain drugs, then surely the ones that you're promoting aren't illegal, right? You wouldn't give us an illegal donut. So I want to try one of these donuts that you gave to your.
I would like to point out that he has never once said that the regular donuts don't also cost $50.
Okay, so it seems like there's some speckles of methamphetamine here. Okay, I don't know if that's what this is here or not, but I just have to try it to be sure. So I'm just gonna take a little bite here. Just gonna have a little nibble. Thank you. Thank you, bailiff. I appreciate it.
Judge in contempt of court. They're doing drugs on the stand.
I don't know that I'm doing drugs. This supposedly should be a completely normal donut right now,
It's a
but
perfectly clean donut. You have not given us any sort of prescription to give you a prescribed donut for any sort of medical condition. So yes, that is just a normal donut.
I
feel
can
like
taste
it
the
would be
coke.
very easy for them to drug that donut.
Now,
I'm gonna be honest.
Have a moment of your time, Judge, to explain
I-
our pricing, which has been called into question.
You can explain it, but I'm like 99% sure that I taste cocaine in that.
There's definitely not cocaine in that, I can assure you. We do offer non-drug flavored donut. It's like a non-alcoholic donut that's flavored as the drug, but has no drug properties.
Didn't
It's a
you
really
just say you
fantastic
gave him a
invention.
maple donut?
Yeah, that had cocaine on it.
We
I've
have a
tasted
maple
cocaine
donut we
before.
could
Let me
give
tell
him
you.
if he would like. I was not responsible for giving any. As you can see, I have not left the bench, and neither has my client. So we did not give the judge any sort of donut.
He was told he was getting a maple donut, and he tasted.
Well, no,
okay.
the bailiff just handed me one. They handed me one. It came from your establishment. So I'm sorry to say this, but
Your Honor, may I explain the pricing really quick because that's been called into question.
fine. You can explain the pricing, but
He accused of selling cocaine.
No.
I think the price matters.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead, tell
I'm
us.
only trying to retort your statement. The question that was brought up is, it has never once been stated that a regular donut does not cost $50 as well. And that is an accurate statement. All of our donuts have a flat rate cost of $50, no matter what flavor, no matter what kind, whether prescription or regular, because we offset the costs of insurance agencies by creating a flat rate donut. It's essentially an
Are you-
Affordable Care Act bundled into donuts. So the
Are you saying-
regular donut users
Hold
help
on.
subsidize the prescription.
Hold the fucking phone. You just said that you will sell any donut for $50. Even the disgusting ones?
No, we don't sell disgusting donuts. We've said that in the past. Every donut is $50.
If every donut's $50 and you I'm sorry, but if every donut's $50, and that means that you're selling the disgusting ones for $50 too. You just said it yourself.
Sell disgusting donuts. That's been my argument the whole time. Is yes, we sell $50 donuts, but they're not disgusting. The case that
I'm
was
sorry.
brought on us is we are making disgusting donuts and selling them for $50.
A great choice, Robert.
My choice was ironclad.
Your Honor. Your Honor, there was no cocaine in the donut.
Are you sure? Because those are really good donut.
Your Honor, you don't eat cocaine.
Tasted great.
Your Honor, that was coconut.
Maybe I just have a coconut allergy. 'Cause it tingled a lot. Oh god. How do I get back into the match? Did I leave or something, or does the match just like kick us all out?
Guff and
I'm
I
not-
are both in. You should be able to just rejoin with the same code.
Oh, okay. Thank you. Alright, so I'm gonna be honest, the smoking gun evidence that I found may not have been quite what I thought it was.
Oh yeah.
I may have actually just had a coconut allergy, and maybe that wasn't cocaine, so sorry about that.
He's coming in.
How dare you? That was such good lawyering.
It was a really good donut too, I'm gonna be honest. I feel kind of bad.
Against you.
You have no evidence. Everything was ironclad. We were
I mean,
just
I'll-
running an upstanding medicinal donut business.
I really don't know that you should be selling donuts in medicinal form, but
Whether or not we should, they were still delicious donuts. And that was
hey,
all.
Fireball!
I got
Fireball's
Fireball
here.
in here. He's gonna be our journalist, I
Hey,
guess.
Edie's gonna join us too.
Well, they can be anything that they want. Yay! Okay, well, if we have a moment to wait, that's fine. And if you don't want to be,
Yeah,
you
okay.
ain't no friend of mine.
Mm. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be the bailiff.
Yeah, bailiff away.
Oh, there's a random button.
Yeah, that's what I was pushing earlier.
Hey.
Looks like we can get.
I'm gonna
bunch
take my
of
pants off and start my
options
laundry
here.
really quick.
There we go.
Oh, hell yeah.
Up to 9 people. Hey, Bax, thank you. Thank you.
You know, just throwing a little bit your way. Don't mind me.
Golden heart, thank you. Oh, by the way, Fireball, this mad lad right here got me the night raid.
Oh, you got Night Rain?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah.
Guff got it.
Whose microphone is that, I wonder? I hear myself just a little bit.
I'm pretty sure that's probably Fireball.
That's wild. Because I'm using a headset.
It shouldn't be Farball then.
It might not be Farball. But
Might be
Farball's
Guff.
coming through as well. It might be Guff. Wonder if Guff put his headset by his mic.
He might have also changed it while we had a bit of company so that they could hear. That's what I did.
Fair.
Also, they're talking with EB right now, so they're probably muted, but I don't know. Or no, they're away from the camera. What's happening?
I don't know. David's talking about me, but they're not acknowledging me when I ask a question.
Oh, sorry. I didn't. Were you talking to me in real life? Yeah. I was just swearing.
Hello.
Can you tell me your favorite cuss word? Is that a
Fuck.
cuss word?
I can.
I
I
can.
don't think that counts as a cuss word.
It's your favorite cuss word?
No, I can tell you my favorite. I just won't.
Your favorite cuss word is I can.
No.
No, he was saying that he can tell you.
Yeah, exactly. Except the person who can't be heard because they're in the game, not in the Discord. I think my favorite's gotta be bitch. Good one.
Wow. Is it because you're a misogynist?
No, I think I've only ever referred to men as bitches.
Hi, Stinky.
Oh, am I gonna be the prosecutor this time? Or did I just hit random and...
Have extra things. Can be anything you like.
Hi, Stinky. Oh, I'm about to toss you.
Everyone hit random a bunch.
You could just choose it this way.
I want to stop.
Stop. Alright, perfect. And then we said we had one more coming in. They can be defense.
I'm coming.
Unless...
Nope.
I might need to close the door though, because the cats.
Yep, I'm doing it.
I can't witness again. It's fate. I have to stay here now.
Me is it.
Do it. Actually, it was probably Evie. That's fine.
you have the code.
It's in
Code
the
is
chat.
in the chat, yeah.
The code for the game.
The code for the game.
Indeed. Have you got it?
Find a court. Is it in Discord? Let's see.
It's in the chat we're currently in.
Discord chat.
Indubitably.
No, whatever the fuck it's in is not popped up.
If you're on the recording channel, there's a little like open chat button. Click on.
Also, whatever Johnson is saying, I cannot hear them at all.
Oh yeah, because I'm not muted.
In the recording channel, if you look at the voice channel, there's a little button that says open chat. Click on that.
Why would I do that when Tez will just DM me? Why do you need to
Yeah.
make everything so hard?
I have that effect on things.
Bruh.
Can I be the judge?
That would be kind of fun. I wouldn't mind. You could be the judge next time, maybe.
I'm a witness. I'm actually both.
I will be the journalist.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Alright.
All right.
I think we're all ready.
I don't know how to play this game. I don't know what's happening, but I am the
It's all improv. I don't know what the journalist does.
journalist.
I'm
The hard
pretty sure
cut.
you just write journal entries.
Yeah, I think I'm
Alright.
the stenographer.
Oh, I didn't change my outfit. Well, I guess I'm gonna be from the south again. How you doing, Judge? May I say you're looking fabulous. And how are you doing over there? Where are Oh, all right. We got a witness over there. Which witness is that? It looks looks like their witness, not my witness. Hi there. I don't quite know what we're here for yet.
That's fair. I'm just prepping it.
All right, everyone, attention. I would like to call you all.
Ladies and gentlemen, bring you here to my court today for the accused, Dr. Bingle, accused of leaving his oven on and burning the house down. I open the room for opening statements from the defense to begin.
Hi there. I would just like to start this whole proceeding by saying that my companion here has lost his home and is clearly in distress. So I would appreciate if we could all respect that this man has lost anything that has ever been dear to him, whether or not he was the cause of it.
All right, fantastic. We've heard the opening statements from the defense. Prosecution, may you give your opening statements?
Well, it seems quite clear exactly what's happened in this court. We have testimony from the witness, a local movie producer who is nearby filming a production of Mid-Housewives of New Jersey, and they happened to witness the defendant leaving the home and smoke coming out of the home shortly thereafter. So we actually can state pretty certainly that there was no one else going in or out of the house because of the filming that was happening nearby. No one else saw this.
Interesting. All right. Well, let's begin the case. Prosecution, do you have any evidence you'd like to present at this time?
Yes, actually. Owie! Why would you do that to me? That hurt my little head. Oh, jeez. Well, as you can see,
All right, you're taking an awful long time to... Okay, there we go.
there is a predicament that as the movie was being filmed, the lights around the area was actually being... Oh God, what's the breaking news? Whoa! Okay, look,
Yeah, I see
Order, please, order.
To open up for
Okay.
arguments really quick about the double D in the court.
Yes. Go ahead.
What am I doing?
You have anything to say about the new the information that was just broken to us about the double D in the court?
Oh yeah, I was
Going?
just commenting on the lass that's sitting behind the prosecution. I presume that is the double D in question. That or you, Judge?
Clearly there's an individual burning down a house in this.
Yeah, all right. You wanted me to get back to the case. Well, the prosecution has made it clear as a result of their witness that my client is supposedly the only one that is in the house at the time, and supposedly him turning on the oven was the cause of this whole debacle. But in the middle of his house being brought down by the fire, he came out of the house wearing boxing gloves. Now, you tell me, you ever seen anybody who can turn on an oven with boxing gloves? Because I haven't.
Objection! Objection!
Argument, but also it would make it very difficult to turn off an oven. Prosecution, what do you have to say about this?
I have to say that you don't understand the client's profession. The client that you're speaking of, they are a professional movie star and doctor of punching. So of course they would be running around with boxing gloves. However, found at the scene of the crime was a concert ticket. Guess what? He wasn't even going to work. He was going to a fun concert outing. Of course he forgot to turn the oven off because he was busy thinking about the fun that he'd be having at the concert.
Now, prosecution, did you have anything else to say about your previous evidence? It was interrupted by the breaking news.
Well, yes, you see, the city lights were frozen around the area, presumably for the filming of the production. I just wanted to say that because it would be very difficult for anybody else to be getting in or out of the area when all the lights are red.
Very valid, very valid. All right. Defense, what do you have to say?
All right, so I'd like to just say that so far, prosecutor has stated that my client would indeed be wearing boxing gloves and might have been going to a concert. Neither of those seems anything that tells me that my client has turned on an oven recently, or was even the cause of the fire. Now, I'd like to point out that being near a large film studio, as they claim they be, there's a lot of chances that there's some questionable materials in the area that could likely cause a fire. As a result, I'd like to state that I think it may in fact be the persecution and the company who hired him, but that witness back there who caused the fire, and I'm trying to blame my witness. In evidence of that fact, I'd like to show you this blurry photo of the two of them very clearly, or plurally, meeting in secret before the events of this proceeding outside his house, which at the time was not burnt down. Now, if that doesn't look like someone planning something, I don't know what does. I think this man is an arsonist, and he's trying to blame my client.
And I do have to say, I agree with the defense's point that the client's profession really doesn't have anything to do with whether or not they burnt down the house. So I will give the prosecution one more time to speak on this, as well as the new evidence of this blurry photo that has been shown.
The man that you have been accused of committing this crime could not have committed this crime, and the reason is simple. It is because they came to this event prepared. They had a water gun. And they were planning on using it for play, for fun, for frolic. But you know what they did with that precious water? They sprayed it on the fire. They tried to put out the fire. But, alas, it was not enough because they had realized too late the oven had already engulfed the house. They did the best that they could. I rest my case.
Prosecution, do you have any sort of evidence that shows that there was water in the water gun?
Well, it's natural to fill a water gun with water. Why wouldn't you?
Oh,
very valid.
My God.
But it is your job to prove without a doubt that this individual was not there to cause any sort of harm.
Well, I do have one piece of evidence that would indicate that they were in fact there. They had a stalker letter that they were following that was sent from the defense's client. And it does appear that they were stalking this other person that you're claiming did the crime.
What have you to say?
Yeah, I'd like... Oh.
One moment. We have some news. Rocky Glamour Shower. Premeditated beatdown.
Now, I'd like to point out that whether or not my client has been stalking them is a separate court case from today. However, it does provide evidence towards my supposition that these two are at fault, as he just so eloquently portrayed, may be at fault for the fire themselves.
That is very valid. A stalker would drive someone to madness and probably encourage them to commit crimes, and is a separate issue. We are not putting them on trial for whether or not they are a stalker, but whether or not they burned down the house. So,
as a result, I would like to continue. I was hoping to call the witness to the stand.
What do you call the witness to the stand? Witness?
Hello, I am a movie producer.
Hi there, witness. I got a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
Of course. Although this does cut into my busy schedule of producing movies.
Speaking of busy schedule, at what times are you currently working on set?
Most time.
Can I get specific time frames?
Sure. 12 to 12.
Is that 12 a.m. to 12 p.m. or is that 24 hours?
That would be AM to AM.
All right, 24 hours. All right, thank you.
Wow,
Next
you're a hard
question.
worker.
Are you yourself a smoker?
Only on weekends.
Only on the weekends. All right, all right. I just have one more question for you. Do you have any sort of grudge against this man?
Against who?
Against my defendant here.
The guy who I saw turn his oven on and walk away viciously.
I do not. I do not believe that man. You are under contempt of court if you are lying to this court.
That's actually incorrect. That would be called perjury. Contempt is something different.
What would you have been doing outside of my client's home to lead you to supposedly see that he was turning on his oven?
His house is the set for our movie.
Oh.
All right, and and at what time was this oven turned on?
6:37 p.m.
All right, thank you. I would like this witness off the stand.
Does the prosecution have anything to cross-examine the witness for?
I have questions for the movie producer. Tell me, when you were producing this movie, did you see anyone else enter or exit the building at all during that time? Besides the defendant?
The crew.
Well, yes, was there anyone who could have gone into this house that could have committed this crime?
Suppose anyone could have, but I watched him turn the oven on.
You watched it happen? Well, we have an eyewitness that saw it happen. And did you see anyone turn it off?
I did not see anyone turn it off. He said he was going to make banana bread. And I said, at work? Hell.
Banana bread. Well, it seems that we have our case.
I would like a moment to respond. Not with the witness.
All right, witness, you're dismissed.
All right. So what we have so far is the witness claims that, let me check my notes here, at 6:27 p.m., he was very specific, he saw my client turn on the oven. Now, I spoke with the folks at the fire station about this whole debacle and when the fire started. And as you can see from this, and as you can see from the dossier, the fire broke out at 6:32 p.m. Now, if you ask me, 5 minutes is not a long enough period of time for an oven to cause a fire. However, right outside the window, you know what we found? We found a half-smoked cigar in the rubble of the building. Now, our witness has said himself that he's a bit of a smoker. And he's in the area at the time by his own statement. As a result, I found it clear that that man set the fire with the full intention to blame this man for the fire, having seen him turn on the oven but minutes earlier.
That is fascinating evidence. We'll turn it to the prosecution for any comments.
Is there any proof that this cigar is the true cause of the fire? I truly believe that it started from the oven, and I think the fact that we have the cigar still as evidence that it didn't start the fire, otherwise it would have burnt completely. Why is it still in our hands, we must ask? Why are we still able to hold the cigar? I think the only true reason is that it...
Order in my court, I will not take philosophizing in this court.
I would like to point out that his main defense was you can't prove that the cigar caused the fire when you cannot prove that the oven caused the fire either.
If only they had a detective to call.
I will say, defendant, do you have any evidence, any additional evidence that the cigar could have caused the fire?
Hold on. Give me just a second to look through my very full evidence folder here. I can prove that it was his. We have an opened package gathered from the trash of this man's house, but with the witness's name on it. And it is for a pack of cigars. Now, this man working at 24 hours at this house, of course, has to get his mail delivered here, as the witness stated prior. And so this man had cigars delivered to this man's address under his name, proving that this is in fact his cigar. The time, the location, the fact that the fire started 5 minutes after this man puts himself outside the window, is that not evidence enough this cigar was his doing?
Prosecution, what say you?
Let's suppose that this cigar was the start of the crime, and I don't believe that it was. If it was, there is no proof to say whose cigar it was. It very well could be the defendant's. I believe.
The evidence I just submitted was to say that it's his. It has his name on the box that came through.
Hold on.
Illegal cigar
Oh
found in
my
the
God.
producer's trailer.
It would seem that we have a development.
Unruly, I am calling the producer to stand myself here.
Hello.
It would seem that the producer. I believe that the producer is the one that produced these cigars and gave them to the defendant.
What questions do you have, Your Honor?
Oh, did you do this crime?
No. I watched him turn on the oven and start the fire. Also, I wasn't even smoking on the day of the fire, as it was a Tuesday, and I only smoke on the weekend.
That's pretty definitive.
Objection, Your Honor. He is not a valid witness, as he is now suspected of crime. I feel like we should not take his hands into account. I'd also like to point out that I have never seen nor heard of an oven fire starting in 5 minutes.
Prosecution, do you have any evidence of what kind of oven the defendant had?
I do have evidence. He had a defective oven. You want to know why? A bad renovation. We found this bent nail on the seat of the crime. It seems that this oven was designed in a way that when it was punctured in just the right way, its capacitors overwhelmed. They could no longer control the heat, the intensity of the fire. So what they thought was only 300 degrees was actually much, much more, and it kept rising exponentially. This is the true cause of the crime.
What's your objection?
My objection is the fact that finding a bent nail at a burnt down house that was being used as a place to film a movie is not anything having to do with an oven.
It was the location of the nail. The location of the nail was inside of the oven. It was inside of the oven. How does a bent nail get inside of an oven?
Well, hello, I am a amateur detective. You can scrap the amateur part, start over. I'm just a detective. It doesn't matter how long I've been doing it. And I'm here to help with this case. I swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
I'd like to point out that the movie producer never did that. Alright, yeah. Witness, Mr. Detective. Is it true that you were the one that found the cigar at the scene of the crime?
Yes, I did find the cigar and the bent nail at the scene of the crime, yes.
Alright, and where was that cigar located when you found it?
On top of the bent nail, right where the oven was.
Alright, so both items were found on the oven, which means that it's...
Objection! Earlier, I do believe you said the cigar was found outside the window?
That is...
That's
correct.
right! You did say that!
Previous that it would have been found out the window.
I couldn't figure out how to spell oven in my report, so I wrote window.
They are an amateur detective, so...
I mean, I don't... Alright, so if they found the bent nail and the item on the oven, I have to assume that this can I get the floor?
Sure.
This incognito costume that we found inside of the witness's chambers that looks exactly like this detective in front of us now. I suppose unto you that this witness, the detective, is in fact the other witness and therefore not valid as a source of information. As
Whoa, whoa.
Portray
I
falsity
am
to the court.
not the other
That-
witness. I am a detective.
This is completely out of line. They're clearly different people. You can tell. Look at
And
them.
I am a movie producer.
Then why do I
looked-
have a copy of that exact costume with this man's name
This
on it?
isn't a costume, dumbass. This is
What-
what,
what-
I look like.
What is this? A court of law or...
Order in the court, please.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I shouldn't have said dumbass. I almost said it again.
Might we have both of our witnesses at the stand at the same time?
I don't believe that's possible. No.
No! No, that's not admissible!
The detective believes the producer is here, and every time the producer leaves, the detective comes back.
It's a procedural error. There can only be one person at the stand at a time.
But
You must
there's a
understand.
prayer for the witnesses
Actually,
right there.
I-
Direct your attention
I can
to this
actually
paper
answer that.
airplane and the seat that is open.
Excuse me, Your Honor. I have an
Yes,
answer for that.
yes,
I
yes,
actually have a restraining order against the movie producer. He is not allowed to be within 300 feet of me.
Do you have that
Is
as
this true?
evidence?
I don't have the ability to submit evidence.
That is true. That is factually true as a procedural
And
element.
Alright, I
do
will
you
strike
have
this
that
from the record
evidence,
for now.
prosecutor?
Alright. I open the floor to the prosecution for closing statements.
The prosecution believes it happened is that this man was guilty of negligence. It's as simple as that. He tried to leave the home and he tried to get somewhere. He had a lot of things to do that day, as stated earlier, a concert and other working events, and he simply left it on. And the cigar is consequential. The cigar likely belonged to him anyway, and if anyone was smoking that day, it wasn't the movie producer. It had to have been them.
Defense closing statements?
In my closing statement, I'd like to just really quickly go over what we learned here today. We learned that the witness, movie producer, has been living at this man's home every day, all day. He smokes. He had cigars addressed to his home, delivered to the location. He was at the location at the time of the crime, and has been known to start fires to consume smoke. Now, the defense has done a good job of showing what other things may have occurred to cause this fire. The prosecution has not brought to light any evidence that guarantees that this man intentionally started a fire. Thank you.
That is very valid. We've been presented with evidence that shows motivation of the producer, actually, shows potential use weaponry or accelerant, and we have several breaking news articles that have shown the producer at the scene of the crime and with the cigars in the trailer. I think this is a pretty open and shut case.
Thank you, Your
No!
Dr. Bengal is innocent.
Dr. Bingle lives again.
Dr. Bingle lives another day. He gets to keep his life and his home.
He's allowed to live.
I kind of want to be a bailiff.
Okay, cool.
There's no.
Alright. This feels right.
Very cool.
Boobar! Holy shit. How long has that been there?
There is no right or wrong, Egg. It's we determine ourselves.
Oh,
Alright,
my God.
order in the court.
Look at that. Red and white.
This is
My God.
This is All right. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the court today. We're going to be presented with a case by Prosecutor Fireball shortly. While we are waiting for him to present the case, Attorney Oh.
What?
Vexerax Todd is accused of pretending to be a judge. All right. Prosecutor, if you'd like to open with some statements.
Yeah, so, Vezeract over here was trying to pretend to be a lawful judge in order to try some cases to get.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out how to do shit. How do I give them the green light?
You switch your hammer to the mode to switch witnesses, or not witnesses, the other one, and then you hit their button.
All right.
Yeah,
Please continue, prosecutor.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, so what he was doing was he was pretending to be a judge to try to get people thrown in prison. And why, you might ask? Because of internet comments that made him angry.
Internet comments made him angry. All right. And defense, opening statements, please.
Yes, I am here to defend Judge Tez on the principle that global malware has become a reoccurring issue. And we do not know who sent those comments.
You're defending for Vezeract, correct?
Objection! What does malware have to do with the fact that he was pretending to be a judge?
I'll let that stand.
Yes, malware has to do with the fact that someone was pretending to be Judge Fez. And actually, the person responding to those comments was not the judge himself, but someone impersonating him and making him look bad, thus making people suspect he is doing false judgments.
All right.
Likely story.
Defense, what other evidence do you have, as I feel like global malware might cause some internet comments to come through or not come through, leading to a sort of crossing out of those two pieces of evidence, as malware might be the cause of those comments?
Excuse me, Your Honor, did you want me to ask me or defense?
Prosecutor, please continue.
Alright, yeah. Listen, it's very simple. It's nothing to do with this quote-unquote malware. These internet comments happened, and it happened because of the secret meeting that took place. We all know about it, even though it's supposed to be secret. Vezerax Toyd posted about it online and got some really negative comments about it, so he decided to take action. It's very simple. Malware or not, he is guilty as charged. I rest my case.
All right, so just to clarify, you're saying that there was a secret meeting happening that was the reason for what now?
Yeah, so there was a secret meeting, all right? No one was supposed to know about it. But Vezeract over here posted about it online for all to see. He got angry comments about it, and you know what happened? He got so mad that he decided to pretend to be a lawful judge just to put them behind bars over the mistake that he made himself.
All right. Do you have any response to this this accusation of motive?
Don't do it.
Yes, and I will say, absolutely right. There were witnesses at the park for the secret meeting that did allegedly see Vexeract condoning very illicit practices. However, having done our own deep research into this and finding a warrant, oh my god, my thing is spazzing out. We did acquire a warrant to go into Vezeract's home, and we found a little black notebook And upon investigation, we found he has an identical twin named Tesseract Void.
Well, now, hold on. That's my name. Are you saying I got a twin I didn't know about?
So you admit it. You admit he did this.
I'm confused. This evidence makes it sound like that a twin brother I didn't know existed is trying to pretend to be me. Is that accurate?
Well, Your Honor, we're not exactly sure what the conclusion is ourselves. However, it must be said, we did find your identical twin, and because we do not have a clear alibi for you, it could be you or your twin.
All right, you can stop that right now. I am not being judged here. I am judging. There is no question as to my legitimacy as a judge. And the fact that you're using that as evidence makes me very much question your morals as a defender. I would like to, from the defender, if Resurrect is not in fact pretending to be a judge, if they are in fact a judge or if they have a different profession.
Well, Your Honor, the problem is, I did not pass my certifications at all, so I was not able to, find any deeper relevant knowledge. However, we do know that on the way to the park, you, at the time, were on the subway.
If you submit any more evidence that has to do with me specifically, I'm gonna find you in contempt of court and sentence your man as guilty. Prosecution, you got stuff to add?
I mean, I feel like it's pretty open and shut at this point. Clearly, they were pretending to be you for some reason. I don't know why they would do that. But I do have evidence that clearly shows that this man was trying to pass off as you, who may or may not be his twin, apparently.
Wait, hold on now. You can't think of a single reason why someone might want to pretend to be me?
I present this fake passport that has his photo but your name.
That's pretty good evidence. Why do you have this?
Prosecutor, they are identical twins, so
I
a
do
picture
not
of
look
one
like
could
that
be
man.
the other without deeper research.
I do not look like that person right next to you in the cuffs. Excuse me.
What do you mean, Your Honor?
Witness. Excuse me, prosecutor. Can you call your witness to the stand?
Yes, I would like to call the movie producer to the stand, please.
Sure. Go into your evidence folder and click on them.
Does it need to be my turn to do that?
Probably. How do I accept that?
I don't know.
You gotta switch your mallet to witness mode.
Oh, witness mode.
Witness mode? Okay. Alright. Excuse me there, witness. I got a question for you real quick. Hold on.
Yes.
You see that person in the cuffs wearing the orange jumpsuit?
Yes, I see him.
You see me?
Yes, I see you.
Do we look the same?
Not at all.
Alright, thank you. That is all.
Actually, I have a few,
I apologize, that was not what I was attempting to do. Please go ahead.
I have a few questions for the witness as well.
Yes,
Your Honor, I object.
Overruled.
Okay.
Alright. What type of movie are you currently producing?
We're in the business of producing smut films, yes.
Smut films, okay. And you claim to have witnessed this man pretending to be a judge. How did that
He's
happen?
been in several of our films, including
Thank you, Bailey.
Big Lawyer, Big Time, and The Honorable Judge Fucks Real Hard.
Yeah, okay. And were any of them involving, like, a pizza delivery man?
Yes, absolutely. We did have Big Rangus's Big Pizza makes it to the judge town.
I got stunned too.
And that's why we have this empty pizza box with a hole in the back of it as evidence.
That how does that relate to him being a judge or not?
Oh, he often is the judge that is in our smut film.
Ah, all right. Well, that wouldn't be necessarily pretending
look
to
at
be
the
a
credits-
judge in an illegal capacity.
If you look at the credits,
for
his
entertainment purposes.
if you look at the credits, Your Honor, you'll see that he is credited as Tesseract Void.
Yes, he said that is his stage name that he uses.
A stage name. Ooh.
So wait, hold on. Did you write this?
Yes, I wrote it.
And you wrote it with that name in it already, or
No,
has that
no,
changed?
no. The judge's name is Penis McDixon. The credit that we gave him on IMDb was played by Tesseract Void.
And is this his name again?
What, the Penis McDixon?
Yeah, well endowed.
Oh, incredibly.
All right, no further questions.
All right.
Oh, did you want to cross-examine that witness?
Your Honor.
Oh, hold on. Yeah.
Yes.
Your Honor.
There we are. Yeah.
Due to some sort of recent extensive head trauma, I seem to no longer remember what is occurring. However, I can't help but notice there's two of you on my screen.
Does that mean that they're clones?
I find you in contempt of court. This court finds
Wait.
the defendant guilty of pretending to be me.
Oh shit, why did I get kicked out again?
Okay.
That's fair.
I'm back. Did somebody pop out?
Me v Bax.
Oh fuck. Alright.
Marble is judge and me as witness. Witnesses.
Oh god. Alright. Here I go. Psych myself up here.
I got you, bud. Don't worry. You're in great hands. I am the best lawyer that's ever been around. Your Honor. I'm so glad to be.
Hold on.
In your courtroom, okay? We don't
and
fuck this shit up.
I'd just like to say, Mr. Judge, that I appreciate this opportunity to be in your fine establishment. Also, I have not thrown any paper at anybody yet, so please do not bother me. Oh, right, I'm supposed to be these two.
I would like to bring you all to today's case. Mr. Bloop is being accused of killing Mrs. Bloop.
Don't worry, Mr. Bloop. We got you. Got you, Mr. Bloop.
Alright.
So fucking ready, bro.
Let's... Prosecution?
Hello, everyone. Today we are going to be talking about the murder of Mrs. Bloop, a tragic case that seems, as far as we can tell, to be the result of a domestic murder. You see, there was violence in the household, there was a lot of infighting, and one day it just became too much. And on that day, Mr. Bloop committed murder, and they did it with this water bottle. This metal water bottle has survived more hikes than just about any other water bottle. It's a big, sturdy metal water bottle, and it ended up being the victim's demise. We found that it matched the wound scans, and we know for a fact that it is definitely the thing that committed the crime. And we found fingerprints that belonged to Mr. Boop as well. I rest my case.
Okay. Fingerprints are pretty damning evidence. Defense, what say you about this?
Your Honor. Listen, that was my client's hiking bottle. Of course his fingerprints were on. There's no evidence whatsoever that says that water bottle was ever slung in a weapony capacity. It could have simply been that she slipped and fell down the stairs and her head landed on the water bottle.
Interesting. Do you have any evidence that supports this theory?
Yes, of course, Your Honor, of course. This lost shoe found at the top of the stairs, Your Honor. Clearly the shoe fell off and caused her to slip down the stairs and have this unfortunate accident, Your Honor.
That's very interesting. Very interesting indeed. Alright. So let's see. You claim that he was bashed, or she was bashed over the head. You claim she fell down the stairs. Let's see if you have any other evidence to bring to light, or if you'd like to call it.
You know, I'm just gonna be honest here. I'm gonna be really transparent with y'all. Why is this movie producer like the same witness? We've seen those so many. Like, I'm not trying to call like foul on my own witness here. All right, I'm going to return to the case.
In the court before, actually. I don't appreciate you making such insinuations.
You see, the murder took place in a hotel, and there was only a limited number of people that could have committed the murder because it required a key card for access.
Oh, hold on, buddy. You're telling me that this hotel had stairs in the hotel room?
That's correct. It's a very nice, fancy hotel.
What do you do for work, Mr. Defendant?
Your Honor, Mr. Bloop has some great ties at great places. He's a member of many financial institutions.
You have the floor.
Yes, this did happen at the hotel, and as Mrs. Bloop simply fell down the stairs. There's no evidence that puts Mr. Bloop there whatsoever, and I am not saying that Mr. Bloop didn't have access. I'm saying that Mrs. Bloop simply fell down the stairs.
Okay. Do you have any more evidence to conclude that he was not there?
I'm not saying he was not at the house at the time of the domestic squabble, Your Honor.
So you're saying
This is merely conjecture. This is whether or not they were or were not there. I mean, we're talking about semantics at this point. There's only two people that could have been there.
Speaking of conjecture, and you're trying to imply just because my client had access to the room, they did a murder. Yes, only two people had access to the room, but having access to the room does not in itself make you a murderer.
However, it is far more likely.
Whether or not he had access to the room. The question was he there?
Yes, we are not denying the fact that Mr. Bloop was in the room when Mrs. Bloop fell down the stairs.
Oh, okay. Well, that's very interesting.
And proceed with any evidence you might have to save your client here.
Yes, of course. You see, the evidence I have too, in conjunction with Mrs. Bloop falling down the stairs, is right when it happened, there was a sudden power. So of course Mrs. Bloop would have not found the stairs and lost her footing, Because all the lights in the building went dark. So how are you supposed to navigate what is the treachery of stairs if you cannot see? It's perfectly reasonable for an individual to fall down a flight of stairs in the dark.
Order!
Your Honor.
Order in the court! Very interesting. There's a power outage. Thank you for your evidence. We'll go back to the prosecution. Have anything to say about this power outage?
Well, yes. You see, there happened to be a power outage at the hotel. That much we have confirmed. However, there's a question of how much that would have affected them when the place that they moved actually has a massive black cloud constantly storming over the building. It's a place that is very dark, and so naturally they would have flashlights on them at all times. It's a very dark place to live, so a power outage would be nothing for these folks. They'd always have the ability to be able to project light onto the spaces where they enter and go out of. It's very common for people in this area to always have a light source on them, you see. So power outage would mean nothing. They could still see. That doesn't mean that they would fall down the stairs. It's far more likely, in fact, that this water bottle wasn't just placed in the perfect spot at the bottom of the stairs, but in fact was used as a blunt weapon in a moment of heated internal debut, and a heated moment of passion was used as a murder weapon. It's very clear. It's the most obvious conclusion that we can draw given the current evidence.
Interesting. Okay. And what say you? Do you maybe have anything that can prove that this was a fall, an accidental thing, as opposed to a murder?
Your Honor, I'd like to point out that I have already provided 2 bits of evidence about my client's wife falling down the stairs, which has not been refuted. It has just been simply washed away as magical, probably didn't happen, and we
the shoe
say otherwise, with absolutely no evidence saying our client did any sort of murder whatsoever, other than a daily use water bottle that was found at the house that was dented.
If only there was a doctor here.
Hey, shut the fuck up. We haven't called you yet. We'll get to you. I would like the prosecution to provide any evidence as my client is guilty.
Well, here's the thing. You haven't really provided any evidence. You haven't provided any evidence that they aren't guilty. The shoe could...
Not my job to provide evidence that they're guilty. It's not.
Well, none of this proves that they are...
Order.
Listen, the shoe could have come off after the murder. It could have been placed after the murder. It doesn't necessarily indicate that it was lost at the time of the incident. And as indicated, the power outage doesn't mean anything because they would have a way to not fall in a horribly, terrible accident. They would have ways to be able to see and to be able to navigate in this space. The fact that they had a lost shoe is consequential. It doesn't mean anything. It could have been lost any time before or after the murder. Somebody could have taken it after the murder and put it somewhere else.
And someone could have placed a broken water bottle at the scene of the crime.
Well, what evidence have you that they were the one who committed the crime, eh?
It is
that they were not.
Job to provide any evidence. It is your job to prove that they are guilty.
Well, I've told you, they're the only ones that have access to the area. There is a massive black cloud, so they would have lights, and they have a dented water bottle. And tell you what, I'll give you some more evidence. I'll tell you what, if you want something more to sink it, I'll give you something more. They recently moved into this place. Very recently. And as a result, they actually... Yes? Sorry, am I being muted? I can't tell.
This is muted.
Oh, okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate the distinction. After this recent move, they were very stressed, very tense, and they had a lot of arguments about why they wanted to live in this dark, desolate place. They were moving into a very scary location, and this was the center of their conflict. This is why they started to fight. You see, the client has a motive. They didn't want to move to this place. They wanted to move somewhere else, and if they limited the person that they were going to be moving in with, then it would be a lot easier to go somewhere else.
Your Honor, Your Honor. Look, no one is calling into question the sanctity of Mr. and Mrs. Boop's marriage. They were not a happy couple, but they've not been a happy couple for some 15-odd years now. They had regular arguments, they regularly fought, but it absolutely never got physical. Mr. Boop would never lay a hand on Boop, and that is a fact of life, and everyone knows that who knows the Bloops, you know? I would say they probably had disagreements about where to move. That just happens in a move, right? No one's gonna find the perfect place they want to go to. No one's gonna be completely content. There's gonna be arguments. There's gonna be squabbles. Someone's gonna lose their job or leave behind someone they cared about. That's the nature of moving. But there's no reason Mr. Bloop would have resorted to violence. There's no reason that killing Mrs. Bloop would have absolved him of this move. That's absurd. The place is already bought and paid for. Moving into it doesn't change just because Mrs. Bloop is dead.
Well, you see, there was one more thing that actually might have changed the course of events here, and that was something that we found on Mr. Bloop's person when they were arrested, you see.
Now we're talking. This could actually be some evidence, Judge. Fine.
They found a rusty key.
Oh, God, of course it's nothing again.
Well, you might wonder, where does this key go to? I wouldn't present this evidence without telling you that it was something important.
Mr. and Mrs. Bloop didn't play in.
They had a storage shed that happened to contain thousands of dollars worth of cartoon reels and screenshots and various signed photographs of different celebrities from the 80s and 90s. You see, all of this was going to be sold at an auction. However, that's not what the defendant here wanted at all. They wanted it all to themselves. They wanted to keep it all, not give it to some charity. And that's why they committed this crime. That's why they took the water bottle in the heated argument. That's why they hit them and then struck them and pushed them down the stairs to fabricate a potential defense. That's why they created the room for error, but they were in the room. They were the only person who would be able to say otherwise. They are the only person who could have seen and knows the truth. They're lying to us because it's the only thing they can do now to try to avoid getting to the slammer. Go ahead. I see that the defense has something they want to say.
Well, that does clearly show means, motive, and opportunity. That's the three things we need for a murder trial. Let's say you.
Your Honor, the motive has changed 3 times in this trial. I would like to point out, first and foremost, these leaked DMs that my client has received. Mr. Bloop received several messages from Mrs. Bloop leading up to the incident, telling him that he was a piece of shit, telling him that he was a horrible person, and most importantly, if you see the one dated exactly 1 day before the incident, saying there's a loose step on the top stair that we should probably get fixed.
Interesting. It does say that right here.
Now, Your Honor, I would like to call our witness, the doctor, to the stand, please.
Doctor?
Yes, hello there.
Please swear in.
Oh, I swear to tell the whole truth and nothing but the truth.
Very good. The defense, your witness.
Now, Doctor, you've been over this case over and over and over. Poured your heart and soul into this case. Your entire residency lies on this case, pretty much, I'd say, right? What would you say?
Autopsy, yeah.
Yeah, you did the autopsy. What would you say was the cause of death of the victim?
Yeah, The angular imprints indicate blood force trauma to the back of the head. Time of death would have been 11:04 a.m.
Now, did you find any other markings or scars or damage to the body that could have indicated they fell down a flight of stairs, perhaps, Doctor?
There was some mild bruising, mainly on the arms, but I couldn't say for sure. It would be certainly minimal damage.
Doctor. Let me remind you, you're under oath.
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely had some bruises, especially on the arms, and then the angular imprints on the back of the head. Hard to say what exactly was the cause of it, but it certainly was not an immediate death, as there is damage outside of just the one wound.
May I ask the doctor a question?
As soon as it's your turn for cross-examination, we have to wait for defense to finish up.
Now you can clearly hear from the doctor's case. If this was a malicious act committed by Mr. Bloop upon Mrs. Bloop with some sort of trauma inflicted by a water bottle, that would have been instant, according to the prosecution. We would have executed her right away. But the victim has sustained several injuries over the course of... Doctor, how long do you think the victim was alive for?
You asked me how old they were at the time of death?
No, how long do you think the injuries were sustained?
Oh, that's difficult to do. I mean, it all certainly happened within, like a half hour.
Half of an hour, Your Honor. That sounds just about the time it would take to fall down a flight of 43 stairs, lay resting unconscious during a power-up because Mr. Bloop thought you were just giving him the silent treatment again, and then be found when power was restored.
So, I don't have to say...
Any further questions for the witness?
No, sir.
Alright, cross-examination, your witness.
I would actually like to keep talking to the doctor here. So, in your evidence, like, he was alive for 30 minutes. Before, or sorry, the victim was alive for 30 minutes.
Window bruising's pretty difficult to determine an exact time for us.
Why on earth?
A much shorter time, but a maximum of 30 minutes.
If they did fall down the stairs, why on earth did Mr. Boop not help in the 30 minutes that it took in order for the victim to actually die?
Explain that in my argument.
What, so they fell down the stairs for 30 minutes?
No, not for 30 minutes. That's absurd. The stairs are only 52 steps long. They fell down the stairs in a power out. Mr. Bloop thought she was giving him the silent treatment.
I would like to present evidence of us going to the location to roll a bowling ball down the stairs to see how long that takes, because I don't think that it would take 30 minutes.
You know, actually, it's funny you say that.
Someone is saying she fell for 30 consecutive minutes. The fall time probably took about a minute and a half. It took 30 minutes for power to be restored and Mr. Bloop to find her unconscious on the floor.
Well, now, do you mind if I interject for a moment, or do I have to?
I would love to hear them.
You may interject once.
All right, wonderful. As a standard procedure for all doctors brought to an active crime scene, I of course already put a bowling ball down those stairs.
Oh, I'm glad.
It only took 23 minutes.
Oh, see, 23 minutes. That's a discrepancy. And during that time, Mr. Boop could have been helping the client. Why was Mr. Boop not helping Mrs. Boop? They're clearly in distress. Why were they not helping them?
Your Honor. Literally, this prosecution cannot listen. We have already discussed this. We've already said what happened. The power was out, and Mr. Bloop thought she was...
They have flashlights!
Treatment.
She would hear that she's falling down the stairs! She would be screaming! Are you kidding me? What is this?
either of you have any further questions for the witness?
I feel like they've made their point very clear.
Everything we need. Correct, Doctor?
The most indignant thing. Flashlights. Okay, I'm dying over here. This is great.
Would anyone like to call any other witnesses or present any other evidence?
Yes, I have some more evidence, Your Honor. Because it's been called into question whether or not Mr. Bloop would have heard Mrs. Bloop falling down a flight of stairs. But I tell you, Your Honor, have you ever heard a human being fall down a flight of stairs?
Yes.
It's loud, kinda, right?
Yeah.
But you know what sounds exactly like a human being falling down a flight of stairs?
A flock of seagulls.
Very, very close. A pigeon crash landing, Your Honor. Which
What?
This... the hotel.
Oh! Oh! This is an outrage! This is an outrage!
Mr. Bloop would mistake the sounds of his wife falling to her untimely demise with the flock of pigeons crash landing outside the building, probably as a result of whatever the massive black cloud is.
Oh, this is... Can you believe this? Can you believe this? Honestly, Judge, what is going on here? I would like to call the movie producer to the stand.
Yes, hello. My name is Movie.
Thank you so much for joining us, Movie. I really appreciate you coming in.
Sir,
Oh.
do you promise to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? So help you, sock God.
So help me, sock, Judge.
You have to say the whole thing, please.
Oh, yeah. Also the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help me, sock.
And you swear.
Yeah.
That works for me. All right, your witness.
All right, witness. So tell me, do you know about this storage unit that is related to the victim here? The storage unit that they had with all of their valuables in it?
Are you talking about the one with those cartoon reels I was trying to buy?
That's correct. That's correct.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it. I was willing to pay $2.8 billion for that cartoon reel.
That's correct. You were willing to pay quite a lot of money for it. And you were turned down for this, weren't you?
Well, that's in a bit of contention. As of my last hearing, I believe that Mrs. Bloop was still in favor of the selling of those resources. And as the reading of the will has not occurred yet, I'm still hoping that she will come through.
So at this point, we don't know who that storage locker belongs to. We're going to have to find out through the will. That's very interesting. We'll just keep a pin on that. So just tell me, how much... Let me roll back here. You're trying to sell this, and you have not gotten an offer back. And who exactly was it that seemed to be giving you the cold shoulder? Who was it?
Well, I was trying to buy it from them, and for the most part, I was speaking with the missus on the matter. The few times that I spoke with the gentleman, he was very excited to talk about the merchandise, but didn't tend to speak about selling it. Was more just gushing about being such a big fan and all. The wife was mostly the one asking about selling it.
So the wife actually wanted to sell this, and the husband, they wanted to keep it all to themselves. You know, they were just moving into this new house. They had to pay the mortgage for it. In this brand new fancy hotel with a 57-flight stair. They're going to need the money for that, and how else are they going to get it other than from the money and the things in the storage container? I think it's very clear.
It's already been established that the house was paid for.
If you want to interrupt, say objection first.
But my apologies, Your Honor. Objection.
Proceed with the objection.
It's already been established that the house was paid for, and I would like to point out that it's technically not a house, it is a loft because it is an apartment unit that was purchased for retail price.
I thought it was a hotel room.
Hotel, yes, sorry, my apologies. That's what I meant to say.
It's a hotel
The
loft.
hotel room that was
yeah.
purchased. It's a hotel loft. Yeah, it's a weird.
Objection is sustained. Proceed with a different line of questioning, please.
My point being, the defendant has the motive, the reason, the conflict. There is all of the reason in the world to suspect that they had something to do with it because they didn't help in the 30 minutes that they were dealing with this concussive incident. Whether or not it came from a water bottle or the stairs, it doesn't necessarily matter because they were there, they witnessed it, and they didn't do anything to help until they had already passed away. I think that their goal was clear. They wanted what was in that storage locker all to themselves. I think that if they had that to themselves, then that's all that they could really ask for. All that they really needed. That's what this whole trial was about. I rest my case.
All right. Cross-examination, your witness.
Yeah, Your Honor, first I would like to point that negligence is not a crime. My client's incompetence knows no bound. We are all aware
What the fuck? Negligence is still a reason to...
is not criminal. Not understanding that your wife was murdered or fell down a flight of stairs.
Murdered!
Your Honor, I'm speaking hypothetically. Whether she was murdered, fell down a flight of stairs, whatever happened to Mrs. Blue, my client's negligence of not understanding that happened in the pitch black darkness of this hotel room, with a sound of crashing birds outside the window, is not a criminal activity. That is just incompetent.
Do you have any questions for the witness, or can we send them back?
Yes, no, I do have some questions for the witness here. Would you like to tell the court how you and Mrs. Bloop were acquainted?
Sure. Yeah. Mrs. Bloop and I met at a convention that she and her husband came to about cartoon memorabilia. It's how we actually got on the subject of their large quantity, and I began speaking with Mrs. Gloop about procuring the collection collector.
And in all your time, correct me if I'm wrong, but our records say that convention was about 3.5 years ago. In all your time of knowing Mrs. Did she ever once speak to you as to why she wanted to sell this collection?
I mean, not particularly. I sort of assumed some sort of financial trouble, but I don't think it was ever mentioned explicitly.
Fantastic. Great. And where were you on the night that Mrs. Bloop received blunt force trauma to the back of the head and fell down a flight of stairs and tragically perished untimely?
Oh, don't tell me you're trying to...
I was at the...
Objection! This leading the witness.
Leading the witness. Interesting. It seems like a perfectly normal line of questioning, except I do remind you that the movie producer is not on trial here.
Correct. I'm just acquiring some information for the court, Judge.
Sustained. Please use a different line of questioning.
Okay, were you at the hotel on the night this incident occurred?
What night was that?
Prosecution?
The night the murder occurred.
Your client was accused of murder.
My client is being accused. The prosecution should have the evidence of the night that occurred, Your Honor.
You should both have that evidence. You can.
Yeah.
At the same time, I suppose.
It's 2 days ago. It's 2 days ago.
2 days ago.
It's 2 days ago. Yeah.
Perfect. Nailed it.
Yeah, perfect. Got it in one.
Yeah. I got it in one.
2 days ago.
I was indeed,
And can you attest to the blackout that occurred?
It definitely got pretty dark a lot.
And can you attest to the sounds of pigeons crashing outside the window?
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure I used my flashlight. It gives me a pretty good view of the area.
Doing well, it's Adam. Thank you so much for joining. This again was really
fantastic.
fun.
And what were you doing at the hotel then?
I was getting ready to meet with Mrs. Bloom about the sale of their goods.
Basically like improv Ace Attorney.
Now, Your Honor, not once has the prosecution brought up what this fight was about between Mr. and Mrs. Bloop that night. You see, Miss Bloop had been engaging in a 3-year-long affair with this movie producer right here.
Is this true?
I've given several things that they can fight for, actually. I mean, there's many other things that they could be fighting about.
I would like to ask what constitutes an affair.
Well,
Hey,
we believe the movie producer was exchanging sexual favors for pieces of memorabilia.
I did not do that.
this does not pertain to the case. Objection!
I think I'll allow
Pertain
it.
to the case, Your
Overruled.
Honor. Because what we found was a flat tire. Oh, I apologize. I did not mean to make that face. A flat tire at the establishment of a car matching the movie producer's car. And you might be thinking to yourself, what per se does a flat tire have to say with this, except the tire iron used to change the tire was not found. They could not find it anywhere in the car, in the vehicle, on the premise. It appears a tire iron, which could cause blunt force trauma to an individual's head and crashing down the stairs. If that were to be what happened, we still don't believe that. We believe Mrs. Bloop's shoe fell off and she simply fell down the stairs and perished untimely. Rest in peace. If that were to happen, a tire iron could also perfectly cause the same sort of trauma that a water bottle could.
Maybe we should ask the doctor about that.
Yeah, let's ask the doctor. I like that.
Yes, hello again. What can I help you with?
Is it possible that the blunt force trauma that Mrs. Bloop sustained, even though it was probably not related to the untimely falling of the stairs and perishing of Mrs. Bloop, is it possible that a tire iron could have caused that trauma?
Well, based off of my original analysis, angular imprints actually makes a lot of sense for a crowbar. I suppose stairs could do a similar thing, but crowbar is actually very close to the shape I found indented in its skull.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
Yes,
Interesting. All right.
No
We're all
problem.
done with witnesses. It's time for closing statements, everyone. You shall start with prosecution.
The prosecution holds firm that this case is simple and it needs not be interpreted in these completely far-off, far-fetched ideas. The man simply watched his wife fall or committed the deed himself. It's impossible to say exactly what they were fighting over. Could have been that they moved there, could have been over an affair. We don't really know, but the point is that this man didn't help their wife. They witnessed it, they did it, and then they didn't get help until it was after she died. And that was intentional. It was because they wanted what was inside that storage locker. It's because they wanted it all to themselves and they didn't want it to be sold off. I believe that is the true of what's happened here today, and I don't think that it needs to be taken in any other way. It's as simple as that.
Interesting. All right. And
Your
your
Honor.
closing statements.
My closing statement is that this prosecution has wasted your time and this court's time with such a blatant false allegation against my client with no evidence, no real motive. All they are simply saying is that the possibility of watching someone die, which didn't even happen because the power was out and Mr. Bloop had no means of visualizing what was happening at the time, is a crime. And that is not a crime.
Flashlights! Fucking flashlights!
Not your turn.
Not
Not your
matter.
turn.
Sorry.
Or not, if there was any sort of right. Mr. Bloop did not witness this. There's no evidence to say that he did. There's no evidence to say that he caused the trauma that may or may not have killed Mrs. Bloop. There is some evidence that says another weapon may have been used to kill her. All we have is the prosecution's desire to send an innocent man to prison.
All right. Now I will review the evidence. we see that there was a dented water bottle, which apparently doesn't matter if it was a tire iron. A hotel key card, a massive black cloud, surprise move, and a rusty key. I don't think the move has anything to do with it, so we're crossing that out right away. Next, we have the lost shoe, a power outage, which makes sense with the Black Storm. It would be very hard to see. But again, everyone has fucking flashlights on their phones. Literally everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
To make a conscious choice to turn that flashlight on, you're wrong.
But of course you
First
would.
thing you do when there's a power outage, obviously.
Mr. Blue likes the dark.
Okay, well that's...
Clearly they were fighting before the incident. There's no chance that a pigeon would make as much sound as someone pulling down 47 to 57 flights of stairs, because that's the number that we kept saying was 47 to 57. I don't know.
It's quite a lot.
How many there were. There
doesn't
were a
truly
lot.
make sense. Yeah.
And I don't believe a flat tire has anything to do with this either. Sure, it could have been caused by the tire iron, but it's far more likely that it was caused by the bottle, and you know it.
Yes! Yes! Excellent! Yeah! This game rules.
This game is pretty great.
Yeah.
If I do this, we won't have a witness. But I really want to try this one.
Right?
Go for it. Chase your bliss.
I want to be either the judge or defense this time. The bailiff was kind of funny. The only thing that they really get to do is just like smack people. Or like handcuff them. It's really funny.
The bailiff is the one who's supposed to swear in witnesses.
That is true. If we were playing this like an actual courtroom, that would be really fun. Having like the bailiff do all that.
Farble did a pretty good job of making it feel like a real courtroom.
Yeah, you did a very good job, Farble. That was an awesome courtroom.
You should convict him with no evidence.
I gave plenty of evidence. He just didn't like to hear it.
Is my witness. I need to remember to change my outfit. I'm not no cowboy no more.
You don't have to be a cowboy. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, you can just pretend you're wearing something else. It's fine.
It's interesting that the witnesses can only be called by like one side, you know? Like the defense can only call the granny and the prosecution can only call the nosy janitor. But like in that last case, the doctor ended up kind of helping me out more. At least that's what it felt like. I'm excited to hear the charges here. This is going to be a fun one. I'm getting tired though, I admit. Is everyone just reviewing their case? It's interesting. Like the journalist adds a cool element too. I really like the breaking news thing because you can genuinely like throw a wrench into everything with the breaking news. Can anyone hear me right now? Hello?
Well, no, the judge can call the witness.
Oh, there we go.
So, like, pick up your gavel.
Oh, can you hear me now? Hello?
On this, for you. If Monsieur Judge, hello?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we seem to have lagged for a minute there.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting. Now I can hear again. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, I can hear you.
I don't know why. Strange. I wrote a thing on this notepad for you, Judge. It says your eyes
Oh.
are cute.
Aw, you're gonna make me blush. I'm holding you in contempt of my heart. Come on. Get out of here.
Even for after the courtroom, Judge.
Yeah, come on. Crazy guy. Throw you a love note. I like being on high. I was just mentioning how I really love the journalists and like they can just add like extra information to like just throw a wrench into the proceedings.
In adding evidence that's specific to what's being talked about.
Yeah, I like
And
that.
I plan on doing that as soon as possible.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait to know what my
I will say this game is a little bit difficult as an improv game. It is fun though because you have to remember so much information and you have to like reference it and call back to it. Especially when you're just being told a bunch of information from the other side.
Judged for what's being deemed a crime. Judge, my goodness.
Oh my
Funnily
gosh,
enough,
there's
I
lag.
took the best notes when I was witness because I didn't have to be thinking about what I'm doing next.
Oh, that makes sense.
He is
Ooh.
accused of war crimes.
Okay, this is...
Of pictures.
Alright, what kind of war crimes are we dealing with here? Thank you so much for joining us, everybody. Welcome to the Sunday evening fun bunch.
Prosecutor and defender are the only people who fucking know who Suki is.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get the proceedings started. I would like the prosecution to lay out their argument on the case, and the defense will be allowed to respond after. So, Prosecutor Gefacher, you now have the stand. Thank you very much.
Yeah. They killed a bunch of people.
All right, can we get some more detail? Like, what kind of
Children and
people?
shit.
Who did they kill?
Children and shit.
Okay, children.
Like, yeah. So
That's pretty fucked up. I didn't realize they were dealing with child death here.
yeah. Well, it's war crimes. What do you expect? The
Right,
final
fair,
count we have
fair.
is about 7,215 individuals.
Jesus, Suki, what the fuck? Oh, sorry. Just you're alleged right now, but what the fuck? Really?
Yeah, it's wild, including 4 hospitals that were burnt down.
Hold on. I need to write this in for. Oh my god, breaking news. Already breaking. It's beefy. It seems that there's some beefy thighs on the loose here. We should be very careful in the courtroom today not to get too distracted by all these crazy beefy thighs throwing around in the air. So can you please repeat how many people died?
7,215.
7,215 dead?
Dead, yes. By
Okay,
our
how many?
current count.
Okay,
It's a rough
and
estimate. When you're dealing with numbers that large, it's hard
What
to tell.
course of
Sure.
time is this over?
About the course of 6.5 months.
all right, so that's quite a few dead. How many did you say were children?
About 815 so far that we know of.
Around 850. Wow. Okay.
They're the culture that was really decimated by this individual. Judges age a little differently than ours, so it's hard to say exactly. But based on our culture's definition of age, it was about 850.
Okay, and where were these folks from? Where did they hail?
They hail from Peru, surprisingly.
Peru. Okay, Peru.
Initially, they were immigrants from Peru that had been moved to another island.
Okay, got it. Okay, well, thank you very much for that. Do we have any information on the method in which they were killed?
Yes. Chemical warfare, mostly.
Okay.
Some from starvation. And at least 2 accounts of brutal humiliation.
God, you're gonna make the defense's job really hard here. Okay. Chemical warfare, starvation, and what was the third one?
At least 2 accounts of brutal humiliation.
Can you repeat these things? I've been doing math this whole time. I've heard nothing since you talked about the 815 kids dying.
Okay, so they're immigrants from Peru. They died from chemical warfare, starvation, and 2 accounts of brutal humiliation.
Okay, I'm trying to write all this down. Chemical warfare.
I'm writing it down too. Don't worry.
What, can you say the other two? Brutal humiliation, chemical warfare, and
Starvation.
okay. I see.
Yeah, this is a pretty tough case here. And what are the charges? How do we know that this person is the one who committed all of those crimes? It's a lot to accuse one person of.
It is. It's a lot. It's very honestly kind of a very really rough thing to just blatantly accuse someone of. But we do have history of internet comments from them saying that they were going to do it, pictures of when they did it, and then bragging post doing it.
Okay, so
objection,
they're
Your Honor.
posts.
Objection,
Okay,
objection, Your Honor.
you are sustained. You may speak to the defense. You may now make your counter arguments.
All right, absolutely. So far, we've heard a lot of crimes listed, but the only thing said that actually related to my client is this claim of internet comments made by them regarding the issue. However, my client is clearly not one to be using technology much. All right, she lives in an attic in a house that runs from a gas generator that goes out constantly. In fact, their only source of communication to the outside world is this dusty landline phone. As a result, any internet comments being made under Suki's pseudonyms must be the work of someone that she knows rather than her herself, as she has no opportunities to be interacting with such
Objection,
things.
Your Honor.
Thank you very much for this information. It does, if they didn't post this themselves, it would make it a little bit harder to pin on them. Let's go ahead and hear the prosecution on this.
Yes. Objection. She attends night classes at the local community college. So
Night
she
classes.
had plenty of opportunity to use an internet and post on the internet.
So they have internet at this place where they have night classes? Oh, hold on. We have a breaking news segment. Internet comments can now be considered war crimes. Well, this does complicate things. This...
The comments alone seem to be able to be considered war crimes now, based on local legislative changes.
There is still no proof that those comments are actually Suki or someone using her pseudonyms.
You know, this does change things.
Several of the posts have pictures of Suki's driver's license that specifically says, I am the one doing this. This is evidence of who I am.
That's very irresponsible for posting that onto the internet. Why would they even do that? Suki, what on earth? Alright. Sustain, shut up.
I would like to point out that her driver's license was stolen a good while ago, and as a result, that does not constitute any sort of proof. I can prove that here today by showing that I do not have a driver's license for her after asking her to provide one.
So she doesn't have a driver's license.
Why would someone not report their driver's license for 6.5 months?
Stolen a while ago.
I see. So it's been stolen for 6.5 months. Is that correct?
It's been. Did I say 6.5 months?
I don't know who said 6.5 months. I think you might have said that.
I am not certain as to the exact time that the driver's license was gone missing, but it has at the very least been several weeks, if not months.
Well, it's very important. So please, could you ask your client how long that this has been stolen from?
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Yeah. No, I get you. Yeah. No, I see. Okay, no, yeah, that's good. That's good. I understand. Well, okay. She says that she's not sure when she lost it because she hasn't driven in over a year, so it's probably been since then.
Oh, so it's actually been over a year since they lost their license, and they simply haven't gotten another one. Did they not need to use it for like a job or anything?
No. She says she I'm not sure if I'm hearing this right, but she says she walks/flies to school.
She flies.
Yes, that's what I'm being told.
Well, if they're committing a lot of war crimes, maybe they might have a plane. Are you saying that they fly like commercially? Like they're flown places?
No, I think they're talking autonomously, sir.
Oh, they have wings.
Yeah, the ability to turn into a bat, maybe?
Okay, do you have any evidence for that?
She says that it's considered indecent to do it in public.
Okay.
And that you should back off, creep. Her words, not mine.
Okay, well, I'm just asking for the court. The court needs to know, like, are there photos that we can verify? Like, any kind of documentation?
Here is security camera footage from the college showing her arriving to her night classes via bat form and then transforming at the edge of the camera back into her normal form.
Well, that's interesting. So it sounds like they're a vampire, but also they're able to be seen on a camera, which would imply, like, maybe more of an animorph? Like, that's pretty cool. I don't want to ask any other questions, but it's very important information to know that the client can turn themselves into a bat, and so they maybe don't need a car to be able to drive around. So it is reasonable to assume that perhaps the driver's license had been stolen and been used by somebody else to identify them on these internet comments. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give the prosecution a moment to respond, because this does kind of break their case open a little.
Your Honor, I don't think this really breaks our case open very much at all. I would say that just because someone's driver's license could have been stolen, there's no means or motive or anything that would... why would someone be trying to frame this individual of war crimes?
I know the news has been talking about.
It's a pretty huge accusation to say my client is innocent because someone else is trying to stole their driver's license and is using that to try to frame them.
I would like to point out, I'm not trying to figure out who was doing that or any of this sort of stuff, because it is not pertinent to the case. What's pertinent to the case is that my client did not make those comments and is unrelated to the crimes related to those comments.
And right now, those comments, if I understand, are the only tie that we have to them committing these war crimes. And the fact that the comments themselves are now war crimes means that if somebody else was making these comments and somebody else was posting the driver's license onto there, then they would have been committing war crimes and they would be responsible for this and not somebody else. So please, prosecution, do you have any other evidence of them committing these crimes themselves, not somebody else trying to blame them in a way for these?
Damning evidence to say we have a self-admission of doing the crimes. It's
self-admission. If anyone can post to the internet, like I could get on your computer and post, "Oh, hello, I'm doing this thing."
Steal your driver's license and it go unreported for over a year, and use that driver's license across the last 6.5 months to suddenly start posting damning evidence of you committing war crimes. But if the judge is not convinced and believes this defense's half-baked argument to void responsibility,
Objection. Badgering my client, I would like to submit actual evidence rather than prattling on.
Oh, I think I kind of agree. I do want to.
Evidence as well.
Well, we have some. We have the security camera footage. Truth be told, I don't really think that either of you have presented much that has proven anything. Actually, now that I look at this.
Evidence that their client is a bat.
Yeah, and so that very well.
Evidence that they are a bat.
The Bat very well could have committed these war crimes. It's very possible that the Bat is, still a criminal. Just because they can turn into a bat doesn't necessarily mean that they didn't commit these crimes. So really, I haven't heard definitive evidence one way or the other. I need to hear evidence from both of you that substantiate your claims. All right, go ahead. Go ahead. Seems that the prosecution doesn't have anything ready to present.
So far about alleged crimes that have been committed by my client, and I feel like me and the prosecutor over there have done a great job of proving that there are comments that we don't know the origin of regarding this issue. However, I would like to take a moment to speak on the actual nature of my client here. You see, our companion spends her time when she's not out doing studies or playing guitar, is actually out wielding a free hug sign, offering hugs to people out in the street and at the college as a sort of sign of well-being and community within the area.
Quite unlike someone
doing this, and many people can attest, including my witness. That Suki spends many of her early mornings, especially out there offering free hugs to suffering college students who picked those classes really early in the day, so they have to get up, but they know they're going to be awake for like 3 hours and then go back to sleep. She's out there giving those people hugs to make that day better.
Very well. I'd like to hear from this witness.
Yeah, absolutely. I call Granny to the stand.
How do I accept Granny?
You would hit my blue button with the witness gavel.
Your blue button? Oh, yeah, do it again.
You don't need him to do it, just do it.
There we go.
Hi there. Granny, can you attest to where you have seen this young lady before, if at all?
Am I supposed to play Granny as well?
Here, she's speaking very quietly. Could you please interpret for us, Fireball?
Yeah. She wanted you to repeat the question as her ears can't hear sounds that low.
Oh, that's totally understandable. She's very old. We should repeat the question.
What is your relationship, if any, to this young lady?
She said, "Oh, yes, she is a very sweet young lady. I've seen her many times. I always offer her cookies. She says no, that she doesn't eat human food. And I think that's just so... What do these kids come up with next? Human food. That's so what were we talking about?"
As you can see, my client has nothing but nice things to say about her, and having seen her in the community shows that she's not out going at night to do these horrendous actions that she is being framed for. I have, at this moment, no further questions for the granny.
Well, thank you very much.
One of those too.
In that case, the defense... Oh, God. Sorry, the defense may speak.
The defense has already been speaking. Do you mean the prosecution, Your Honor?
Yeah, sorry, the prosecution... The judge... Oh, God, it's not my day. Look, just fucking go. Just...
If the defense...
It's on... Yeah. Okay, look, it's on you. As soon as that's over, and you can speak. Okay, go ahead.
Your Honor, you said... Okay. Your Honor, I would like to say that if the defense had nothing to prove against, why would they be presenting this individual as such a sweet and caring individual? A free hug station. Nobody does that. That's the kind of thing you would expect from someone committing war crimes, trying to hide their war crimes and act like a good person. Calling a sweet, innocent
Objection,
old grandma to the
speculation.
stand to prove the innocence of this individual? That's
Objection.
leading the jury to draw
Objection,
false
speculation.
conclusions.
Objection overruled.
Grandma, I have some questions for you.
Alright, ask the grandma some questions.
Okay.
Have you ever seen this individual commit war crimes?
Which individual, Sonny?
That one right there.
Okay. Oh, yes, I've seen her many times. I offer her cookies, and she says she does not eat human food. Whatever that means. The kids these days, what do they come up with next? Humans. What were we talking about?
Have you ever seen any of this non-human food?
I can get you some food. What do you want? I can make you some tacos.
Now, never mind, Granny. That's all I need. Your Honor, I would like to point out that our sweet, innocent grandma here has already shown this
I can bring some sweets.
That this individual views themselves as different from humans.
That is very true. It does seem to be indicating that from the witness's testimony.
They are separating themselves from humanity. Now, why would anyone need to do that unless they were committing atrocious crimes?
And all proof of anything terrestrial disappears.
Oh.
Is that how that works?
Just not the visible ones, says.
Yeah, it only erases invisible things. I'm sorry.
Yeah, my apologies. Please continue.
Alright, you can proceed.
As I was saying, separating themselves from the humanity of the individuals they are committing these crimes against.
Okay, well,
I don't think my cookies are war crimes.
Thank you. You can go ahead and sit down, Grandma.
I feel like you are attacking the witness.
How do I get out of witness mode?
Just scroll again.
Swap your hammer.
Oh, there we go.
Thank you, Your Honor. Because I do have some evidence to present here.
Yeah, we've heard quite a lot from the defense, but I'd like to hear from you.
We have. So what we have had, right, is our defense here is presented as some sort of possibly otherworldly being, some sort of vampire, which we all know vampires and humans have waged wars for decades, years, centuries even maybe. Whether or not they are, or whatever this accusation is, we don't know for sure. But what we do know is motive, right, Your Honor?
Do we know the motive?
We do. Surprisingly.
From the internet comments, or something else?
Well, you see, this individual is, I would like to say, a vampire.
Yeah.
A member of a high aristocratic vampire court.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
What they have been trying to do with these war crimes is to help destabilize the U.S. economy through hyperinflation. Have you noticed how much gas has been going up? How much food has been going up, Your Honor? This individual right here is directly responsible for it.
So they're responsible for hyperinflation because of their war crimes? Are they using their powers as a vampire to do this? Is that what you're arguing?
Yes. Well, not really as a vampire. They're trying to destabilize the U.S. economy to build the economy of their vampire, I guess, regime to be more sustainable and robust. They're trying to replace the U.S. economy with a vampire puppet state, basically. Your Honor.
Vampire puppet state.
Which
Okay,
is
that's
also a war crime.
that is a lot to respond to. I'll give it to the defense.
All right, I would like to point out that this man's accusations are specious.
Whoa.
Not all vampires are of aristocratic houses, and Suki here is in fact not part of any particular house, and that house that you are speaking of are natural enemies of the katana-wielding vampires, of which Suki is one. You can see her katana right here. As a
Excellent.
result,
Okay.
this persecutor's claim that she's associated with those folks is directly antithetical to their core beliefs.
Man, I've kind of lost the plot here. So.
She's katana-wielding vampires, and the vampire aristocrats that he is speaking of are natural sworn enemies of katana-wielding vampires.
And that means that she wouldn't have committed war crimes?
Correct, because that family are the ones who are responsible for the war crimes, and she is a direct enemy of that family, and therefore in no way associated. And that is why they were trying to blame her for it, because she is a natural enemy of the family of vampires that he...
Alright, fine. You want to talk.
Yeah, Your Honor, that is very valid. The katana-wielding vampires and the aristocrat vampires have been feuding for a long time, as we have found in our studies. But what we've also found is some pretty damning evidence here of a broken contract. And you're asking yourself, what does the broken contract have to do with this? Because the contract was for the facade of dispute between the two families, and the contract has now been broken, nullified, and void. And the two families are in cahoots now.
Did you not say that it was a contract of friendship between them that was destroyed?
No. It was a contract swearing vengeance towards each other.
Interesting. And who was in possession of this contract that got torn up?
We found it on McManister.
I don't know who that is.
Who's McMaster?
Sorry, McManister is... sorry, I should have led with this. McManister, please come to the stand, if you will.
Yes, McManister, please.
You have to switch the gavel again, buddy. Not that one. Here we go.
This is our star witness, McManister, the nosy janitor that has been cleaning up the war crimes on this island of vampires.
How dare you!
You tested the blood type of the victims with no one asking you to do that.
How does that have to do with being nosy?
You said it was because you were curious.
I was curious, not nosy.
I digress, Your Honor. Can you tell the court where you found the contract?
Yeah. Which contract's that?
The one that was the one that was the allegiance of vengeance between the two families.
Oh yeah. I found that one in the toilet.
Clearly broken and discarded.
Wow, discarded in the toilet. Clearly they didn't want anybody else to see it.
Yeah, they shit on it.
That sounds like an unofficial breaking of the agreement that most people wouldn't know about. In the bathroom? You're not having public full family meetings there.
Your Honor, we've already established their culture is different than ours.
They absolutely had public full family meetings in the bathroom. I heard them all the time.
Yeah, I heard that from my vampire cousin. I'm sorry.
Every single time I heard her say daddy, I knew they were having a meeting.
Bathroom is added to my lore page here.
Any other questions for me? I got a lot of work to do cleaning up all the war. I mean, I gotta go clean the house.
Oh, okay. Well,
Wow,
it sounds like they
found such a good person for their witness.
they really don't want to be here any longer. Is there anything else that we should bother them with?
Yes, I have one more
can
question
I
for
ask
you.
them a question?
Okay,
How
sure.
many
You can both get one more
bodies did you
question.
find on the remote island that you were cleaning?
Oh, wait, you're serious?
I mean, a rough estimate for the court is fine.
I would like to plead the fifth.
Can you just tell us big or small number?
I would like to plead the fifth.
Can
So-
I ask my question now?
Yeah, that's an interesting answer. Go ahead.
Yeah, witness. I just to ask if you have, prior to this court case, seen this particular vampire, Suki, before, and if so, where and when?
Oh yeah, I see her every night in my dreams.
Please respond if you've actually seen her prior to today.
Yeah, that's how people get in your dreams.
I guess that's
When
kind
did
of
you first
fair.
meet her?
I've been working for her family for, let's see, 300 years now.
And is she on good terms with her family?
I mean, I hear him talking in the bathroom all the time. Every time she screams "Daddy," she sounds like she's having a good time.
I have no further questions, and I'm very uncomfortable.
I too am uncomfortable. As long as there are no other further questions, I would like to dismiss this witness.
Please.
Alright, witness, you are dismissed.
That's good
Yep.
because I have a lot of clean things to go clean up right now.
Oh
I'm
god.
gonna sit here and talk until you make me go away.
Please.
There you go, okay. You are now dismissed. Alright, well, I do think that it is very pertinent that we do find out if those internet comments did actually come from the prosecution, or if they came from, you know, some other... What am I trying to say? We need to know if the internet comments actually came from the defendant, or if they came from someone else.
Your Honor, I would like to submit. I understand your line of questioning of the comments, and I would like to submit some evidence that, really, frankly, it doesn't matter where they came from.
Oh, really? Go ahead.
Yes, because we found in Suki's possession at the time of arrest this blood-stained apron that, when tested, contained the blood of all 7,215 people. Sparklings and specklings of blood from each of them we found, matching in the fibers of this apron.
That is so many people. Are you telling me that each and every one was individually killed?
Every single one, Your Honor. I'm telling you, these were heinous war crimes.
Wait, hold on.
Can I just get how, fucking objection, Your Honor.
Yeah.
That these people died of chemical warfare, starvation, and brutal humiliation, none of which caused bleeding of that.
That's what I was about to say. This seems a little bit strange, like an inconsistency.
I get that. That seems like an inconsistency. Unless this family and this individual over here have been committing these atrocities and war crimes, and then, for some unknown reason that we seem to have uncovered in this court today, draining the victims of their blood.
Why the fuck would
So-
you chemical warfare someone you're gonna drink?
No, are you suggesting...
To listen to them scream.
Are you suggesting that they drank the blood and then killed them through other means?
No, they killed them through other means than drank the blood from their corpse.
But wouldn't
Gotta
they...
admit,
That seems like a bad tasting blood.
Of all the types of blood, chemically warfared blood, starved blood, and humiliated blood do not sound like tasty motions of blood.
I don't know. Starved blood, I feel like would be fine. The blood with potential poison in it, I feel like is a little bit harder to sell. This has been quite an interesting trial. Although I have to say, I don't know that I fully
is not
trust.
Dead man's blood, poison vampire?
He
Be living blood?
Okay. So, I think I'm gonna go ahead. I think we've heard enough from both sides. I think I want one final summary of your argument from either side. We're going to go ahead and hear from the prosecution first, and then we will hear from the defense.
Yes, I will keep it short and brief for you, Your Honor. This individual and their family have been brutally murdering individuals for decades, draining them of their blood and sustaining their legacy, and now they are using their legacy to launch economic warfare on the United States government to take over as a
again.
puppet state.
So they're going to take over as a puppet state.
Puppet.
Are you trying to? What are you laughing about over there? Do you want to shut up?
We're all puppets, though. It's funny.
Shut up. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say that. You're not supposed to say the truth. Don't speak the truth to power. All right. Well, thank you very much. Let's go ahead and hear from the defense.
Listen, Your Honor, what I have proven here today is that Suki is a hardworking college student who lives in the woods and has to fly herself to school every day, where she is adored by an elderly woman who gives out cookies. Meanwhile, all the prosecutor has managed to prove is that Suki visits her family occasionally. Whether or not she's involved with war crimes has not been proven. Whether or not she's involved with the internet comments has not been proven. She is a diligent student who loves her family, and none of that is a crime.
Okay. Any final word from anyone else? Well, looking over the.
If you guys want some cookies, I can bring some next Tuesday.
Oh, thank you very much, Grandma. I really appreciate it. I would love that.
No thanks, I prefer not human food.
To be honest, I kind of thought this would be an open and shut case. I really thought that this would be oh, they did it, and shutting the door on this. But there's been a lot of room for doubt that's been raised. There's been a lot of questions about whether or not, the validity of these things, the validity of these different acts. But I do know one thing, and that is that traitors never prosper. I think that somebody who is working against our best interests, who is trying their best to hide it, would do things like try to hide with, a free hug sign as an alibi. Would try to convince somebody that they know, like this lovely grandmother, not to besmirch you, but I don't know that they're as reliable of a witness as a character as I would like or have hoped. I think that right now, as the case stands, I'll have to make a decision here, and that decision is guilty.
Wow! M. Night Shyamalan level twist.
I thought I'd made a good argument.
Just trying to keep you on your toes. Oh man, I got fucking kicked again. I don't know why it keeps doing that to me. It keeps kicking me every time I finish. I don't know that I mean to do that.
I feel that.
Did we want to do one more?
Yeah, let's do one more. Let's do one more.
Alright, I want to be like a witness or something this time.
Oh, I just made myself the journalist because I wanted to be something different this time.
Oh, that's fair. I mean, I could be the defense or something. I'm just getting tired and I want to do something that's less involved.
That's fair too.
That's very fair. Will Farball go prosecutor and Bax can go defense?
Yeah, I can go back to pros.
Yeah, I haven't gotten to do defense yet.
Let's do this.
Yeah, you get to see at least one full round, Marshall. Let's go.
Heck yeah.
Alright, I'm excited for this. Farball, give me something good. It's interesting that the prosecutor is the one who determines what the case is about. They bring forth the charges.
That's really cool.
Must also be witnesses.
Yeah, I like that too. Then the witness can do something fun and more engaging too.
All right, welcome to the court. We're going to be presiding over a court case today with the well-known Farball as prosecutor, and our boyo, the attorney, Backstab, defending what's his face. In the back,
Thank you very
we have
much.
a lovely journalist with us today who's here to tell us about all the news as it comes in. Journalist, do you have any opening remarks?
Yeah. They did it.
Well, that's very. I object to that. They're not a witness. Get out of here.
I didn't say who's there, what they did.
But I mean,
I wonder if I can just call you guilty before I even hear what you.
That would be kind of. Can you do that?
Very
Doesn't
little
even-
evidence has been submitted. Are you certain of your judgment? Okay.
You certain of your
Yes,
judgment?
you
You can. It just asks you, are you sure you want to do that?
can. It's like, did you mean to do that?
The prosecutor doesn't get to talk to anybody until they've made their choice, huh?
It's really interesting because it means this can look at like the evidence stuff a little earlier, but and the witnesses.
Her is accused of kidnapping all but one of the princesses. All right. Prosecution opening remarks. Please keep it to 30 seconds or less.
Yeah. Listen, we understand the dragons have their tasks of kidnapping princesses. We get that. We just want to know why he didn't kidnap our princess.
Oh.
So this is a court case of why they didn't steal your princess, not that they did steal all the other ones?
I mean, we can get to that later, but we're more suing about why didn't they steal our princess.
Okay.
Oh, this is okay.
Defense, you are being sued for not stealing. I'm sorry. What was the name of your country?
Doctovia?
Socktopia?
Doctovia.
Why did you not kidnap the princess of Socktopia?
Well, you see, we actually are very selective about what types of princesses we choose, and the princesses that we choose for our special, very honorary position, is actually very exclusive. There's actually only like one or two that we select every year, and this year we only selected one. And in fact, there's actually quite a few other dragons that selected some of these other princesses. And it's not our fault that your princess didn't get selected. You know, we chose our one princess, and that was good enough for us.
All right, prosecution. How many total princesses are you accusing the person of?
Her has stolen exactly 37 and a half princesses. This year alone. You want to know how I know?
How?
His internet search history.
Whoa, okay, we didn't realize that this would be going there. That's uncalled for.
All right. So, the search history has been sent out, and looking over it now, it looks like a lot of it's been erased, but I'm seeing quite a few things. Looks like some purchases for large quantities of princess gear, more than would be necessary for just one princess. Defense, how many princesses has Kerr taken in the last year?
Well, you see, there was actually only one princess taken by our dragon, and that's because we take only one in order to prevent the endless eclipse that bestows upon our land. In order to sate the eclipse, in order to sate the eclipse, we must take only one.
Is sustained as the eclipse hasn't happened yet. We cannot prove it is real.
But that's why we have to prevent the eclipse. We're trying to stop that from happening.
Do you have proof that you stopped the eclipse?
Well, I wouldn't be here if I didn't have good proof.
But we don't know if the eclipse is real, right? Because it hasn't happened.
Well, as you can see from this blurry photo, there's actually quite a lot of evidence that this eclipse could have happened. It's very clear in the photo.
What is this a photo of?
Oh,
Exactly.
you see,
I'm sorry,
it's a
that's a dick pic.
No, it's definitely not. You see the bridge here kind of meets over to here, and, and then there's like this head part over here, and then these two little. Hold on, maybe I think I might have the wrong photo. Look, okay, this photo is very, very conclusive in stating that I would like to call my witness. I have this little girl. Both of the things are crossed out now. Welcome, Princess Fest. Now, which princess was that? That's really important information. Can you clarify for us?
Little girl.
Little girl. Well, I mean,
sorry, but the media is not able to respond.
the media doesn't respond. Oh, okay. Little girl, what do you think? You seem like you've been going through a really rough time. Is it? Can, the little girl. Can hold on, calm down. Can you tell us a little bit more about your mother and your family here?
My mom said that we can't have princesses because they all died.
So your family, they were princesses and they all died. That's really unfortunate. It wouldn't happen to have anything to do with the ink hole incident at the Dave and Buster's locally here, now would it?
No, my mom just uses recreation.
Sorry, could you repeat that for the court?
I said my mom says she just uses recreationally.
Oh shit. She uses K recreationally. I'm starting to doubt my own witness here a little bit.
What do you want to know? I'll do my best.
You're not supposed to tell them that. I told you that.
I do not know what he just said, for real. Like,
it's okay. Don't worry about it.
No idea what he's been saying this whole time.
Listen. Okay, look. The reason why I brought you here was very simple. I hold up a photo of
denied. Overruled.
I hold up a photo of the princess that was kidnapped. And I ask if this is the one that was their mother.
Yeah.
Is this your mother? Yeah, and she died, huh? That's really unfortunate. Can you tell me, was she selected by a dragon?
No.
She wasn't, and she just died in the K-hole?
I don't know. This is really buff me.
All right,
was
so
a little girl and wanted a princess to my party, and my mom's like, I'm all dead.
All right, I think I rest my case. If the prosecution would like to ask any questions.
Yeah, I have some questions first. Can you summarize what he just said for me? Because I got none of it.
Oh, it's very clear. Basically, it's that their person that they related to died horribly from an accident because they were not involved with dragons. But if they had been, then they would have survived because we take our sacrifices very in our kidnappings very, very, very seriously. We keep them in very good care. So sorry, it's not our sacrifices. Just our kidnappers.
Is my mommy dead? He said my mommy's dead.
Is your mother a princess?
Yeah, I think she is.
Then the current term is kidnapped.
Okay.
That's the politically correct term.
Oh?
What?
Anyway, There. Prosecution, please counter-examine your witness if you would like.
Hey, little girl. Hey, little girl.
Yeah?
My mommy said not to talk to strange men.
Hey, child. Please talk to the strange man.
Did you just hit that child?
Yeah, now that you're a princess, do you hope that you get chosen by Kurt?
I'm a princess?
Well, your mom was the princess, and she died, so that makes you the princess.
Listen, kid, your mother is fine. If you were a princess, would you want to be captured by Kurt?
Yes. That sounds like fun. I've always wanted to ride a dragon.
No further questions.
Thank you. Alright, does either side have evidence they want to bring to light, currently?
I will absolutely bring this evidence to light. The empty wine bottle that my princess had to drink because of your client's inaction.
Their depression is not our fault.
He picked literally every other princess except for ours. Just answer me this. Is it because she looks fat in those pants?
Let me ask. Is it because she looked... No! Actually, it's because they needed the blonde hair, and she had brunette hair. Isn't that right? That's right? Yeah. They needed a brunette. Or... No, sorry. They needed someone blonde.
Can you confirm the hair color of your princess?
He's a blonde!
Their princess is blonde.
It's a dirty blonde! It doesn't work! It's not the same! They need a straight blonde. More dark.
Evidence to support this?
Yeah, in fact. I take out my water gun and I spritz, and then it turns out that they had dyed their hair. Check that out. It comes right out with water.
Oh. Wow, you're right. They are actually a brunette. They dyed their hair blonde. Okay.
That is heresy and treason. It's actually the other way around. She's naturally blonde and she had dyed her hair brunette. And that's why it looks a little dirtier right now.
I'm gonna keep spritzing the water. Spritz.
Based off of the actual piece of evidence, I'm gonna have to side with the defense on this one, and your princess is naturally brunette.
Objection.
Unless you have counter evidence.
Sure. I will absolutely give you counter evidence. Boom. Look at the comments on her photos. Oh my god, you're such a natural blondie. You make the other blondes look smart.
Whoa. Okay, so...
Right, and these comments are from officials or doctors or friends?
Oh, I wouldn't say friends as much as, like, peasants.
I see. Okay, and has your princess ever been found guilty of, I don't know, asking a peasant to comment on her photos?
She doesn't talk to peasants.
Interesting. Okay. In light of this new evidence of internet comments talking about how she's a true blonde, any response, defendant?
Yeah, so I just talked with my client. They don't own a computer because they're a dragon.
That has nothing to do with what I said.
Well, I don't know what these comments are that you presented, but like they didn't post them.
What proof do you have that there is an account owned and managed by this dragon?
I don't. That has nothing to do with what I said, though.
If they don't have a means of posting of posting photos, then comments would not be on her Instagram. He has no Instagram.
But it has
Yeah.
nothing to do with him and his internet access. It has to do with my princess and her internet access. Her internet
So are you?
access, which does work.
Oh
has-
no,
is
So-
where the
that's fair.
comments
So your client has internet access, but my client doesn't. So what you're seeing very well could be a fabrication from somebody
Well, no,
related to
the
your
point of the
client.
internet comments is to prove that she's blonde.
I thought
Oh,
it was
God,
to.
Ruby Whiskey rated with a party of 24. Hello.
Whoa!
Ruby
Hi,
Whiskey.
welcome.
We are currently discussing whether or not Kerr the dragon here has kidnapped. Hold on, let me check my notes here. 37 and a half princesses this year, and whether or not they have, if and why they would not take Sakatobi's princess. Sakatobi's. Hello.
We only needed one in order to satisfy our ritual, in order to prevent the endless night that comes from an endless eclipse, and so we sacrificed our one, and they had to be blonde. But guess what? They were a brunette, and they tried to wear some hair dye in order to disguise it, but then I cleverly used my little water gun. Pew pew. Turns out they had hair dye on. So, yeah. How about
The
that?
hair dye is an interesting effect. However, we do have verified internet comments on photos calling her a true blonde. For the time being, I think we can leave the question of hair color out of this. Prosecution, do you have any proof that that he actually has taken more than just the one princess as they claim?
Of course I do. I would like to call to my witness
I am
stand
the judge, Ruby.
the sad clown.
Don't
All right,
you
a clown
dare.
is being called to the stand.
Oh, breaking news!
Oh my god.
Dragon Horde found
Dragon-
blonde skulls mixed in with gold.
I'm
Oh
telling
my
you.
God. This evidence is astounding. Please continue your questioning of the cloud.
Yes, Mr. Sad Clown, from what kingdoms do you hail?
I hail from the kingdom of Socolopolis.
Socolopolis, you say. And how many princesses does Socolopolis have? 2, 7,
Anymore.
none anymore. Right, but how many were there, Mr. Sad Clown?
Oh, we had 413 beautiful maiden princesses.
413 princesses. And Kerr stole exactly 30 of them.
30 of them.
I don't know who stole the rest
Absolutely
of those
is.
princesses, but Kerr stole 30 of their
Killed each
princesses.
other in a battle of wits. Oh, it was horrible.
So as you can see, we have clear evidence from a witness that Kerr stole more than one princess this year. No further questions.
All right. You may now cross-examine the witness defense in light of this new evidence.
You see, there may be an idea, especially from the things you see in the news, that there are quite a number of skulls and quite a number of people sacrificed, but that is merely because we have to sacrifice many people over the span of a long, many series of years. In fact, we have a little black notebook that has every single name of every person we've ever had to sacrifice, and I mean kidnap, and we know very well exactly the number of people that we've had to take into our care, and it is absolutely never more than one person a year. You can see right here in the book. We kept it all right there.
Yes. Let me see this book here. Black notebook. Okay. This does show a log of only one person taken each year. They do all appear to be blonde. All right. Well, just because you have a book stating that you've only been taking one officially doesn't really answer as to why there is a witness stating that you've taken significantly more than that. These could be off the book takings, as it were.
That is very possible, but I disagree. Okay. Never mind. Witness.
Just remembered them again.
Yes, do you have a question for the witness?
No. I have
Okay.
evidence to counteract his claim.
Oh.
If you say that you are so truthful, if you say that that notebook can be trusted, then why does Kerr have a fake passport?
Kerr, what the fuck? Okay, hold on. Let me confer with Kerr for a second.
Yes, take your time. Do you need a recess?
No, I think I'll be okay.
This reporter, you come here often?
No fraternizing with the media.
Yeah, I come here every Saturday.
Sorry, I got a little distracted. Lost
That's
some
perfectly
eyes.
okay. And you there, media, no fraternizing with the prosecutor specifically.
I'll fraternize with who the fuck who the fuck.
I will find
Yeah,
you in
hit me,
contempt of court.
You know how I like it, you little dirty slut.
I am uncomfortable.
Yeah, that's what you keep telling me, but you keep.
We're just.
It would appear that I have an explanation for what has happened. You see, recently, while hanging out at a local Applebee's, my client Kerr was hanging out with another one of the dragons, an arch mortal enemy, and in this time they had a dispute, and because of that dispute, they ended up taking a fight, and they fought each other, and their passports fell out of their belongings, and of course, as a way to spite the other person, they took their passport and swapped it with a fake one. That they had never even heard of this until now, but they came back to that incident and they told me that must have been what happened. That must have been what happened. That must have been when it was planted.
Do you have an objection, prosecutor?
Oh, I'm just shaking my head to say that what he's saying is false.
I would consider that an objection in court of law.
Objection! Speak the truth or do not speak at all.
Well, fine then. Say what you want.
This seems like speculation. Any final evidence to be submitted?
I would like to ask the Clown's Mafia membership.
Yes, I would like one last thing to be submitted to evidence.
I would like to ask the Clown something.
Yeah, we can get the Clown back here.
Mr. Clown. Is it true that you are connected with the local mafia?
Yeah, that's all part of the sauce.
I see. Is it true that the local mafia has the ability to forge passports?
Of course, we'd be a bad mafia if we didn't have that ability.
And have they ever worked with dragons, specifically my client or any other client, or any other dragon out there?
Objection! Relevance.
No. I don't remember the word for it, but no, let them continue.
Okay, that's because everyone knows dragons are granted international travel status and don't need passports.
Interesting. Alright, if passports are not required, then a fake passport is of little importance because he wouldn't be asked to provide a real one.
Right?
But all the more reason to wonder why he would have one.
It's certainly strange, but I can't relate it directly to the disappearance of Princess.
Well, if that's not enough for you, I have one last piece of evidence.
Alright, well, go ahead and present.
This is a photo of Kerr performing a gesture prohibited by law.
Okay.
That is not in any way related to what we are currently speaking of and will be considered a separate charge to be spoken of later.
Kind of hot, but
It's very important, though. You haven't
How is
understood
it related?
Hold on, we have
Uh-oh.
to hear the breaking news first.
Being with 1 million eyes.
oh,
Sun
oh.
and sun.
So
Alright, so we're gonna go quickly now. I like final statements from both.
we
groups.
have it.
You bet.
Kurt,
Kurt, he's trying to
Kurt,
destroy the
what
world
the
and
fuck?
He didn't steal our princess, and he should be fired for it.
Okay. And defense.
I've spoken with Kerr, and it does seem that we haven't actually found out what happens, what causes the endless eclipse, but the being with 1 million eyes summoned from the sun does seem to fit the description matched from Legends, and we have not yet sacrificed our prisoner for the endless cycle ritual, and we are fairly certain that the world will be doomed unless we kill a prisoner and be done with this trial. This has all been a farce, and my client is trying to save the world. That is the end of my statement.
Alright, Kerr was accused of kidnapping all but one of the princesses. As per a statement made by one of the witnesses, 413 total princesses were in the area, and the prosecution is only claiming that 37.5 princesses were taken in the last year, meaning that not all but one princess was taken, and therefore they are innocent of the
Yes! Yes! Yes!
He didn't take them all. He might have taken more than one, but not all of them.
I never was here to claim otherwise. Look, that was just to help me in the moment. The truth is, they kill like hundreds every year. Like that was for the publicity.
God. That doesn't inspire a lot of confidence.
No, but I wasn't guilty of this crime. Saved by the monstrosity horror. That was fun. Oh my gosh.
Indeed. How are we feeling? What do we
Journalist is
think?
fun.
I feel like I'm done for today. I feel like that's enough for me.
I think so
That's
too.
fair. This was a very good game. Thank you very much.
This
Yeah.
was awesome.
I like
I had a
that you
fucking
can do-
fantastic time.
We need to spend some days just making cards because we can make our own too.
Yeah.
We should make some cards. We try and get a full group of people in here. Get Ruby to join us.
Well, what's
Yeah.
fun is like there are Ace Attorney like modules that exist that you can run in this game,
Thanks for
like
joining us.
where they have evidence and bits and pieces of like art and other things that are collected that you can like add in, and you can probably make like a custom match using all of those little bits and bobs.
Hell yeah.
So that would be really fun to try too, where like you actually have a script and you have like things that you know you're supposed to say.
Yeah.
Would be cool.
Yeah. A wild time. I must rest, but catch up with y'all soon. Have a great night, Marshall. I'm gonna hop back into the Discord. Alright, I'm here in the Discord.
Probably not. I need to send emails and.
Yeah, I think like I might hop off here as well. Oh, I got a bunch of achievements as I ended. As a bailiff, silence the lawyers. A trial without lawyers. A dream for some, a nightmare for others.
Hey, get knocked out by the judge 20 times.
More of a punching
Literally
bag than
the
a
only
lawyer.
achievement I got from all of those.
Yeah, I got that. I got that one too. This game is fun. What a good video game. Is there anything else that I want to play for like a tiny little bit? Try Nubbies.
Egad.
You think I should try Nubbies?
Tez wants to play Magic.
Tess wants to play Magic? Tess should tell me that.
Tez did say that.
Are they in the? Are they muted? Oh, I muted
No.
them.
Did you mute
Never
him?
mind.
Wow.
I did. Yeah, I did.
Wow.
I did. Yeah.
Downloads.
Wow, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay if you play Magic.
play Magic, Ubu.
Play Magic. One
I'll play Magic.
round.
I'll see.
Walk.
I can play
I'm
Magic.
gonna dip.
Get some sleep.
All right, thanks, Scuff. It was fun. Thank you for game. Thank you
Yeah.
for other game. You amazing.
Have a good night, you both. Bye.
Good night. Bye bye. I was gonna say my other option would be, if not that, I had Nubby's Number Factory or Kitty Powers Matchmaker.
You
ever heard of that game?
Sounds... No.
That game is fascinating. It came out in like 2015. And it's just like it's a game where you play as a matchmaker and your goal is like to be Tinder. You're like matching people.
Interesting. Okay, so you're doing the matching?
Yeah, and it's like a simulator kind of game where it's almost like you're running a business where your job is to match people that come to you.
That's pretty cool.
So like, yeah, they'll come to you with like certain needs and wants in a relationship and like different interests, and then you have to match them with other people that have come to you as well.
Very cool. What's it called again?
Kitty Powers Matchmaker. Here, I'll link it to you. I don't think it's multiplayer though.
Fair enough.
It is cute though. It's a cute little thing. I'm getting magic up. It's just loading an update.
No worries. I hopped into a quick ranked match while I was waiting because I figured it would take a second.
That makes sense.
I'm gonna see if we can't beat some people. I need to switch my stream, but it stopped saying that I'm playing Guilty as Soft.
Yeah, I should make it say that I'm playing Magic, huh?
Right? Beautiful. Modified. We fixed it. Let's see what the enemy's working with, shall we? Ooh, okay, they got a destroy target creature. Yeah, we take out the destroy target. Oh, yeah, he does just spin that one to do that one and gets back. Ah, that's a shame. Should have gotten rid of the other one so we just spend the higher cost card. Get rid of it. Oh well. We live and we learn. I love my little cats, by the way. I have an adorable little cat thing that was on the dailies a few days ago for the backgrounds of my cards, and it's adorable. Unlike this map that we're on, but it does match my little mascot. What a horror. Love him.
Is that why? Or what do you want to get? Remember my login.
Haha. He's just gonna use the destroy target. Still get to see it at least. Discard a card if you do see 2 cards. 4 damage to target creature or planeswalker. Whenever creatures don't damage, its controller may exile that card's on top. Interesting. He's got lots of direct damage spells. I'm gonna pull this guy out.
There we go.
Is it updated?
Yeah, it's getting there.
Nice. Just 4 damage. Beautiful. Get rid of all your removal before I play any of the good stuff.
It had one update and then it had another update for me after I logged in. You know, part of the
Updates on
reason why I haven't been
Hmm?
streaming as much lately is just because I've been getting involved like crazy in this 100 line game. I think I've told you a little bit about it.
What's the game?
100 line Last Defense Academy. Have I told you about it at all?
I don't think so.
Oh shit, I feel like I've been telling everybody about it. Well, it's this game
I've been out of the
by...
loop for a couple weeks. Sorry?
Oh, no worries. No worries, I'll tell you about it. It came out like kind of late April, and it's a game by two of my favorite scenario writers. One of them did Danganronpa and was like the lead project writer on that, which is that one where it's like 16 children locked in a school and they're teenagers and they're forced to kill each other and they're like the ultimates in whatever field they are best in. Like the ultimate like tennis player, the ultimate you know, inventor, stuff like that. And they all like, it's like a killing game where there's like trials to figure out who killed who, and if you don't figure it out then everybody dies, that kind of thing. So then that scenario writer is working with another scenario writer who I love, whose name is Uchikoshi. It's Kodaka is from Danganronpa, and Uchikoshi is from the Zero Escape series, and those are a lot of like escape, like you know those Flash games that are like the escape room games?
Yeah.
It's like that, but a series of visual novels that are also escape rooms, and those are some of my favorite visual novels of all time, because they're really good at branching narratives, where I think there's like 50 or so different endings in
Dang.
yeah, one of the middle entries of that series, and there's really
it's like
cool
a
things.
choose your own adventure thing at that point.
Yes, 100%. I mean, every one of those games comes with a flowchart after the first game that like demonstrates how to get to each different branching path in the larger narrative. And each one of them has like a unique, distinct ending. And so the big sell of this game is that you have to survive 100 days in this school academy. It's this big, high concept sci-fi thing. But after that 100 days is over, something happens, and then there are 100 different endings.
Oh.
And they are all meaningful, distinct endings.
Goodness gracious, that must have taken so long to write.
Yeah. Their company is like going under, like because they spent so much money making it, and it's such a massive project for them. Like, and when asked what they want to do next, it's like, well, we do want to port it to consoles eventually. It's just on Steam for now because that's all we could pay for. But eventually we want to do DLC where we add more endings. And it's like, motherfuckers!
You've done so many endings already. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. And so I'm at day like 93 or something like that. Like I'm deep into it. And getting that far is like taking me 40 hours. It's probably 30 hours is what it would take a normal person, but I've been taking it very slow.
That's
oh my
the
god,
best
I
way
got
to
so
enjoy
many
the
deaths.
story.
Yeah. I don't know why this is not showing up here.
Alright. I should have this in the bag. Bex, what is the name of that game you were just talking about?
100 line Last Defense Academy.
100 line Last Defense Academy. Thank you.
Yeah. They don't have any budget for marketing, so I'm telling everyone that I know about it.
Appreciate
game
you
is
hanging
so
out
cool.
with me after Ruby's stream ended.
And thanks for listening to me ramble.
Yeah, absolutely. Dude, I enjoy listening to people talk about stuff they're passionate about. It's good.
Yeah. All the characters in that are so interesting, because like the past 40 hours have basically been a long series of domino setting, where like there's so many interesting characters and they all have interesting plot hooks, and I could see the dominoes falling in so many different distinct ways that like I genuinely don't know what's possible at this point. Like it seems like it could go literally any way, and that it plans to. Like, and that's really exciting for a story to not know where it's going and to know that it could go literally any way that I want it to.
It's a big part of why Game of Thrones got to be so popular, because it tore away from a lot of the expected outcomes. If you can do something totally unexpected, that's awesome.
Yeah, I mean, there's this one character, for example, who's constantly like they're a little bipolar, and they kind of remind me like they feel like a fan insert character of like somebody who was a fan of the past Danganronpa games and expects this game to be Danganronpa. And so they're like, I want a killing game. I want people to start murdering each other. This is boring. And I feel like they're gonna get their wish. Like, I feel like they're gonna end up starting a killing game or something. Like, that is within the realm of possibility somehow.
I mean, if there's outcry for it, it would make sense for them.
Yeah.
I sent you a challenge, by the way.
Yeah, I'm looking to see what deck I should play. I could play... This isn't Brawl, is it? This is...
I did not. I did 60 card. I didn't know which decks you had more of.
I'm gonna do this one because I just got it. It looks like fun. No, we can do this. I got a bunch of like new decks that are brand new that are... Just the game threw them at me, so I'm gonna try one of those.
Ah, okay. So you're playing like Foundations or Tarkov deck.
I think so, yeah. I saw this and it just looked really cute.
That's a mulligan. Oh,
Yeah,
and that's a keep. That's an easy keep. Yes. I've got a blood fountain.
I've got an elf.
Shiver me timbers, it's an elf. We don't want to use it on that quite yet. That's unfortunate. Yeah, look at you.
Just drawing cards like crazy, don't mind me. Probably should have done something else, but you know, it's cool. I think what I did will probably be slower than what I could have done. I said that wrong. My brain is hard.
Not squishy, but hard.
Yeah, it's hard like a rock.
Reasonable. I think my plan is to win the game by making lots of little goblins and then turn them into bigger guys. And in the meantime, I'm gonna hope that you don't lay out something that's like a 6/6 and murder me. What are you looking at my guys for?
Don't worry about it.
What you doing?
It's not
You trying to start a fight with those elves?
Yeah.
Ooh. Maybe you draw your second card each turn. Okay. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do this. This. And we're gonna do that. we're just hanging out, having a good time.
Having a good time.
Alright. These are the crux of our plan. He's just going for more lands. The heck do you have in your hand that you're like, oh man, 4 mana's not. You monster! Hitting
do
me
it.
where I'm defenseless.
I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Is this a deck that you made yourself?
It is.
This is an interesting deck. It has to do with like blood and stuff and like multiplying.
Yeah. It's essentially a artifact sacrifice deck.
Hmm.
Because I'm trying to trigger my anvils to make guys. Is the plan, which I'm not playing my bat deck anymore. Attack. Here we go. Now I'm explaining what I'm doing in the time. Okay, here we're finally getting the big boys.
Man, you are just going crazy with these little guys. I don't know what I should do about that.
Well, you can take out some of them now. If you so wish.
I don't know what's scarier, the tokens or the little other guys, because I don't know what synergy you have. I don't really want to block another one.
There we go. My boy gets stronger every time something dies.
I see. Okay.
Creature or artifact. And he's got trample. You'll be getting to understand your demise.
Yeah, I do actually.
I don't like how that was said. Plus one creature, and then that creature deals damage equal to its power attack creature. No! No, me boy!
I'll fell the blow.
I can't believe you've done this.
I'll do it
You're a
again.
monster!
I'll do it again.
Well, maybe don't do it again. Hey, what are you looking at that guy?
No reason.
Stay back.
Just gonna... Whoop.
Oh god, another big boy. First and foremost, let's start by doing this. And then I think we're gonna do this. And we're gonna select you and you. And then we're gonna bring this out. Perfect. Look who's back! Back again!
Shitty's back, tell a friend.
Hey, my little exuberant fuseling can't be stopped by mere death.
Deciding what to do with my mana here. I think I know what I need to do. And let's get big boy.
Oh, look at the big boy. Ooh, that's a nice landfall as well. That's spooky. Beautiful.
Oh, you're not gonna get game next turn, are you? No, okay, they're only 3. Oh, you might get game depending on how many you kill. Shit, that might be game. That is game. I knew I should have gotten rid of that guy. I should have slowed you down at least.
I don't think it's game.
you got me. No, I think it is.
Because I have 5 attackers and you have 3 defenders. Right? So I'm gonna hit you for 2 if I swing with everything. That's fine.
Well, that's trample.
Yeah, which means you have to block it with the 6 guy.
Yeah.
And then you block 2 of the ones, and I hit you for 2, and you have 1 life.
It still sucks for me, though.
Yeah, definitely not ideal. It means you pretty much have to... Because next turn I'll just activate an Oni Cult Anvil, and it'll... But you might have an out. I don't know if the precons have board wipes in them. Green might be rough to get a board. Although I need something that does 1 damage to everything, and you've wiped me, so maybe. No, you're taking 3 damage here.
Am I? 1, 2, 3? Yeah, I am.
Yeah, you gotta lose your 6 dot, dude.
Lame.
Yeah, certainly not ideal.
Oh, that sucks that I had to get rid of that guy. Okay.
Wish there were more red cards that multiplied, or any red cards as far as I'm aware, that multiplied the number of tokens that you got. I understand why there probably isn't. I mean, Cranko alone, good lord.
Need to play very defensively now.
No, I think that's just game, my guy.
Yeah, it might be. I don't know if you. Yeah, if you're able to make enough. Yeah, you're. Yeah. I figured.
Just barely had enough with the 2 anvils. GG,
Well done.
though. That was close.
Yeah, I tried my best.
Alright. It is getting very late. I wanted to do a little something afterwards, but I think I'm gonna call it. If you're still going, I'll raid you. Wise, do we want to share race somebody? Are you going?
I don't know. There's some of these quests I kind of want to do, but I'm not that invested, actually. I think I could probably end stream right now. I probably want to play 100 line more than I want to keep playing this. So I'm okay raiding somebody.
Okay. You know somebody you want to raid?
Buck isn't going anymore. Let's see. Anna Penwolf is playing Hunt Showdown. Do you see anybody? Oh, I got a buddy CV Rombre. That would be good. It's got like 1 viewer right now.
CV Rombre playing Minecraft?
Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate each and every one of you for joining me, and for the Ruby especially, greatly appreciate you staying and giving me a shot, hanging out for a little bit. I know I've played with Ruby a few times. Hopefully you guys enjoyed her stream. I know she's been playing a bunch of different games.
Yeah, I know today was like a requested game.
Yeah, hopefully we can get into Guilty as Sock with her at some point. That would be very fun.
Yeah, that game is so much fun.
At a buddy of Bax's playing Minecraft. Bye-bye.
Bye. In